Big up, and welcome to the Liverpool 12th Man Show. We are live and direct with Lee, JK, Brian, and Alante with me on the panel, and hopefully you in the chat. We are going to be doing a show where you can call in if you like. You can also listen along if you like as well. We're going to do some team talk. We're going to have the game on in the back, whole bunch of stuff. This is a Thursday tea session, I guess, where we just kind of enjoy the sheer fact that we've gotten through our League Cup game. Had some fun. Had some pretty. When you looked at the stats, when you look back at the stats, I watched the game over as well. You know, we had some pretty exceptional performances by some players. In the sense of players that normally don't play, or some players that don't play on this level on a norm. But we also have a case where we have the Spurs playing against Manchester United today. We also have a matchup where I think it's be nice to kind of watch that game in the background, because at least that way we can also see what we're going to be facing this weekend. A little bit of a case of what we're going to face this weekend. Obviously, they're going to play somewhat rotated squad, I would assume, but we shall see. And just some team talk, some conversation, whatever you guys want to bring up. Be sure to put it in the chat, and we'll do our best to kind of comment or at least include it in the conversation, especially if it's on the conversation that we're talking about. So, with that said, let's bring in the panel. We have Lee. How you doing, Lee?
Good, mate, good. Even better after last night. I'm glad on what we did last night. I thought that was excellent, the way we managed to, we controlled it. It was just like that ball at Endo in the face, as I previously said, and that threw it up in the air a bit. Like, we controlled that easily, didn't we? Like, away from home against the Premier League team with half of our size. I like the way we were able to rest Trent and Gomez as well at half time and still come out with the win. That was brilliant.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that for sure. Definitely talk about that for sure. JK, how are you doing today?
All good, bro. All good. Good result yesterday. Tottenham gone pretty strong today against United as well. I just seen the lineup. Solanke's playing, Son, Kubileski, Madison all starting.
Yeah, I think it's because I think Spurs really want to win this tournament. They really want to win this tournament. For some teams, for some of these teams, they kind of like League Cup is whatever. They don't necessarily put a lot of attention or time and attention to it, but yeah.
No, everyone wants to win it. Everyone wants to win it. That's why City have won it so often since Pep's been in charge. Everyone wants to win it.
Okay. We boosted it up since City have made it into a better cup, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, and then Irishman, how are you doing? Brian, how are you doing today?
Very well.
Good. Wait, just speak again one more time. Your mic sounded a little low for some reason.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Just making sure. And Nolante, how are you doing today too?
Yeah, all good. 12. Good evening to the chat once again. Blessings to all. Interesting last night, but we move. A win and we move.
Yeah. I got you. We can talk about it if you like. If there's some, if there are people out there in the chat or even on the panel, you have some bottled up emotions that you just want to share on yesterday's game. Hey, we could do a little therapy session if you want. It's the floor is yours when it comes to conversation today. Today was like one of those days where we're easing into the weekend, and right now, we won't have to our game is on Sunday, so we won't have anything really in Red's perspective, at least for until Sunday. But we also have a case where Spurs play again today for that League Cup that we are in the semifinal for, 20th semifinal, by the way, which is fantastic. And there were some other things I have too lined up for us to kind of talk about that I thought were kind of interesting, just perspectives. I'd like to hear what you have to think about them. first off, let me so I guess we could bring up a little something as well. Do you guys have a prediction on the game before the game even gets kicked off? I know that we're going to keep it in the background for like 20 minutes. In 20 minutes to start.
3-3. 3-3 and penalties.
Going to penalties, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How about for you, Lee?
What, tonight with Spurs and United?
Yeah.
I'll go for a 2-0 win to Spurs.
Wow. Shutdown of the Red Devils. Okay. How about for yourself, Nolante?
Pens United, unfortunately, go through.
Okay. Onana, what's his name? Comes up big. Okay. And
I
Brian.
want Spurs in the final. We haven't faced Spurs in a domestic cup final since 1982, and I think it should be given another go.
Wow. Lee with the stat. I wasn't expecting that one. Okay. That's what's up. Did not know that statistic off the top of my head. I did not know it.
Ray Clements being made to look ordinary in the Spurs goal by the Liverpool attack. 2 for Ronnie Whelan. Great game.
What about yourself? And you can tell us in the chat if you have a score prediction for today's game, for the final game of the League Cup before the semifinal. And I think also we'll also have a live. Hopefully we can get a live update as to who will be playing in that semifinal too. But Brian, who do you have in this semifinal? Or quarterfinal, excuse me.
Well, your man, what's his name, isn't playing, Onana, so it'll have to be Bay in there. Just looking at the teams, they've both gone fairly strong. I mean, Spurs have like Dragusin, Gray, Spence, but mainly the rest of them are. So they've no Van de Ven, they've no what's the name, Romero. They're not even on the bench. Yeah, I don't know. Geez, they're not great either. Either of those teams doesn't look great. So I'll give it to Spurs because they're at home. It is very Spurs. Spurs score a lot of goals, so I don't know. 4-2 to Spurs, I suppose. Yeah.
I was fully behind United in their last game. I am periodically, if United can do us a favour, and I still seen that as a favour that was worth doing to make City's woes even worse. I want them right out of the title picture, so I was supporting United the other day. Today I'm not. Today I'm a Liverpool fan again.
Got you.
I would have took a draw there, but it's all right.
What's that?
I would have took a draw in the United City game. I didn't want City to win. I didn't want United to win, so I wanted the draw. But United winning it like that, it's done. Like, I wouldn't say it's done us a favour because I just believe City are not just at the races anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good result in a way.
One does it hold anything? Oh, got you. Do you guys want to answer that one? Nwate, you want to take that question?
Answer it for himself, I think.
Oh, Nwate's on.
In England, it's big because in the old days, there was only one team that went to the European Cup. It isn't like now you got 10 teams for England playing in Europe. You got Europa League, you got Conference League, you got all these sort of competitions and stuff. So like the League Cup and the FA Cup were sort of big in England domestically because of just the chance of winning a trophy. Hence why it's a big trophy.
Okay. Lance, you have a perspective on that? I saw you come off on mute. Maybe.
The worst sour grapes on the League Cup being a trophy worth winning comes from Everton fans. I can safely tell you that as someone who lives in the city, Everton have never won the League Cup, and they always say it's a shite, no meaning trophy. only because they haven't won it.
Because they
ever.
haven't won it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everton are not
I
going to
mean,
win
How
anything.
long's Pep
Again,
been here? Pep's been here like ages, and the first like 7 years he was here, he won the World Cup, the League Cup. It tells you that it has got worse. Like, you know what I mean?
Jurgen
Mhm,
liked it, you know. He gave him an opportunity to give everyone a game. It was more like a squad competition compared to the Champions League, for example, where you wouldn't risk youth players and stuff like that. So the League Cup is a
Right.
real squad sort of competition, and it brings everyone together. And the club used to love it. And I think because it's early as well in the calendar,
Since the
early,
FA Cup,
it's good.
since the FA Cup's glamour's faded, which it has, I don't see either of them as being that much different in winning.
True. Same as I view the League Cup and FA Cup sort of similar now, yeah. Back in the days, the FA Cup was like on par with the league, nearly.
Yeah,
was,
it was when
you
I
know?
was a kid. Yeah, if you were a good cup team, you were known as a half decent side or name, and there were loads like that. West Ham were one like that. Like they were a decent cup team, and they were known as a good side because of it. But it's not like that anymore, is it? It's changed a bit.
yeah. I don't think about it from
Okay.
I don't think about it from the terms of like, it's for the whole league. We just have it's England. It's just a little quirk that they have in England where they have a fourth competition or a second competition. It's yeah, like the FA Cup is a little bit different. Like the boys are saying, back in the 80s, and I mean, people today would literally, like, modern fans would laugh their heads off at
I
the idea of this.
remember it.
But
I grew up on it, Brian. I grew up on it, and the FA Cup was pure glamour when I was a kid. I just ain't the same thing anymore. I'm just trying to bring the League Cup into view as like being an equal partner in winning a domestic trophy. I was starved of FA Cup success. Fucking hell. I'm not starved. I was 13 when we won it in my lifetime. Then we won it again in 89 and 92. No, I was starved of it, considering we won everything fucking else. We didn't win that as much, like, when I was a kid. So what I'm trying to say, like, yeah, it is a big trophy and that, like, but
Yeah, it's a chance for the young other teams to win a trophy, Trap Joe. You know what I mean?
I remember Coventry in 1986. That was a good one. That was brilliant. Coventry versus Spurs. Keith Houchin's diving header. 87, 1987, yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Remember Dave Bennett as well?
Yeah.
The winger. I met him actually a few months ago, yeah.
I watched that with me dad. Like, I'd only just like recently met me dad. I knew him from before a little bit, but then I met me dad again and found out he was an Evertonian. And we watched the 1987 FA Cup final together in my nan's, like, and that was it. Yeah, fucking Keith Houchin's header, and me wearing me Denmark
Very
kit.
cool. Hopefully, I think I'm lagging a little bit. I'm trying to make sure I close all the windows so I can make sure I'm on point with you guys. So I guess that's certainly an answer for you. I would say that. We did go over our semi-opponent official lines. I did have a question. So yesterday we saw some performances by some players that, some performances by some players that have maybe teetered on not getting playing time, but have certainly been ready and willing to get the playing time. We saw some players, most notably some youth academy players, get some playing time, albeit some more so in the latter parts of the game. But we also saw Trainioni start, which is a promising sight. There is a player that's no longer a youth academy player, but he is a player that is going through a bit of a confidence situation, and that player is player that I'd hoped to not be in the case as well, by the way, but that player still is. Mr. Kwanzaa. If you could give one bit of advice to Kwanzaa, what would you say to him in an effort to get him focused and ready and developed or prepared for the next stages? Or is it a case where you just, or because there's people I've heard online saying, oh, we need to send him out on loan. We need, he's dead. Some people are saying he's dead food. I never really understood that concept.
Last night.
But all the same, if you had to say something to get this guy back to the walking with swagger that he had prior to the Matip injury, what would you say to him if you had an opportunity to give him a bit of advice? Nolante, we'll start with you and then go Lee, JK, and then Irishman.
What I say to the young buck, Mr. Kwanzaa, Jared Kwanzaa. I'll tell you to stop riding trains, pause. Don't go chasing waterfalls, maybe, or something. Exactly, yeah. Forget some of these actually no, I won't repeat my language. Some of these so-called influencers or these materialistic women on Insta. I'll tell you, forget that. Focus on your game. Just don't stop doubting yourself. You were the guy that everyone's rated. Think about what before the start of this season. Think about what you did leading up to where you were before then. You were playing well in the 18s, 21s. You were highly rated. You came in, 22, 20, 23. You were just about to best on the scene, and you had a great season. And you were even the first team starter. And then people were. Unfortunately, you can't help what people think. If people thinking when third year goes, the future's safe in your hands. I'll just say, just concentrate solely on your football. Know the qualities. We're here to support you, and forget the naysayers. And you will be the great defender that you'll be in time. You had the best club to do it, also.
Yeah. One, I would like to think one of the best fan bases to do it amongst as well. But. What would you say? It's difficult sometimes when you have your Tom Littles out there and your Hussams, but I mean, like, it is what it is. We move.
Yeah.
What would you say to him, Lee, if you had an opportunity to have a sit down with Kwanzaa, because you could see there is something different in him. He looks a little at times timid, or just a little bit of
Yeah, also had a good game tonight. Like, he was the recognised centre half, like, that held the team together at the back. The goal we conceded had nothing to do with, like, it was just like a bit of luck. It fell into the guy's path, didn't it? But yeah, defenders make mistakes. That's part of a defender's life. He knows that already. You don't have to say that. He knows he's made a few mistakes, like, and he'll learn from that. Defenders always do. It's part of the growing process for defenders, like.
Okay. How about for you, JK? What would you say to him if you had an opportunity, or maybe you don't say anything?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you think he's he'll work it out himself, but.
Mm-hmm. But by me just looking at him, I'll give him that blick. I would say, like, you could be, like, you got to be a bit like a father to him. Like, see, with Klopp was that guy, hence why he'd be seen the player. Arne Slot probably doesn't do it the same way as Klopp does.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that switch at half time in the Ipswich game is the reason why he's on a bit haywire off the pitch and that. For me, keep away from women until you're at an age where you're not getting controlled by them, where you're losing your focus on your what's actually giving you that money. Forget all them girls come after you. Like, at the end, he's a good-looking lad, you know what I mean? But still, the money that he's going to make from football could be all pear-shaped if the next 2 years he goes haywire, He can end up at, say, Bristol City. Imagine we're like that, not good enough to replace Virgil, or whatever it is. But for me, he's got the world in his hands, and I don't really say that about a lot of youth players because I haven't seen enough in them. But for me, this guy Kwanzaa,
Right.
from what he from where he became and what he become, for me, wow. Like he's getting people saying he's good as Virgil. He's gonna be as good as him. Come on, man, you can't get better.
Yeah.
You can't get better than that, you know. So he probably could have got a bit big-headed as well. You don't know what goes on these guys' heads. We just see the player, and what I see on the pitch sometimes is that guy's a bit lost in the last, say, 5 months. Something's happened to him. He's not concentrating. For me, buck up. That's what I'd say to him. You know, at the end of the day, he's been given that opportunity to play for Liverpool Football Club. He's worked hard for it himself to get there. You know, it weren't none of us fans encouraging him. He came from nowhere. We're like, bang, check this guy out. Who's he? You know, it wasn't like we were talking about him. So for me, buck up, because the next 2 years of your life are probably the most important years of your life. Like, you're on the scene now. People know Kwanzaa. You know, just concentrate on your game. Concentration levels, bro. It's all you can see it in his face sometimes. It's concentration levels. You got to understand, he's not Virgil in his head. He's not Gomez in his head. Even Kanate has this season stepped up in that way. Concentration levels.
We haven't seen him that much, have we? Like under slot, defending in a slot side is a little bit different as we've seen from defending in a Klopp side. So it might suit him better when he does actually get back in the side for an extended run.
Who, Kwanzaa? Look, for me, Kwanzaa, now is the time, bro, because why? Kanate is injured. He had the chance to partner Virgil and put Gomez at right back. That was the sort of option that was sort of going to come out, but he makes mistakes because of concentration levels. I don't know where his head is sometimes, you know. Look at that thing yesterday. He went, the guy was going through. What did he do? Yeah, he had to make the challenge. If he didn't, he would probably score. You don't know, you know. So for me, he had to do it, but it was a risky game to pull. You know, it was a risky one.
Right.
But he did himself no harm last night. It was a good performance last night.
Yeah.
Bernadette.
What else? Go ahead, Brian. What?
Yeah, I'd have a lot really to say to him. I wouldn't tell him anything. I'd ask him questions. I'd ask him. I know it was a joke. I know it was 100% a joke, but he was showing his sort of, I don't know what he called it. Kids would say, he said it with chest, you know, the condolences thing. That kind of came back and bit him in the arse a little bit. And I'd ask him what he learned from that. I'd ask him, you know, how that affected him, getting taken off at halftime, because that should be one of the big learning moments in your career. That right there, even for 1 second, if you think that you are in this Liverpool team and that's you now, you are in that team. If you think for 1 second that's you, you're gone, you're done, because you're stopped striving to be in that team. So did he get to the point in his head where he thought, sorry, Ibu, I'm the man now, far too young to be thinking? He's obviously carries himself. He does have some, let's just say, off the field issues this year, which were a bit concerning. But he's a young man, like the lads are saying, he's earning a lot of money now. So, you know, we all know what it's like to be young. We don't know what it's like to be earning the kind of money he's not even on that much, but he will be soon. You know, I'd say look at Marcus Rashford. Right now. He's on 365 grand a week. 365 grand a week. And they're looking to get rid of him. Now, you could say bad management and all that, but it's not to say, it's just to say, look, nothing's ever written in stone. You know, that idea that day when you thought, I'm in that team now, I hope you got a smackdown. I really hope your ego got a serious slapdown that day, because sometimes that's what it takes. Your ego has to come back. If it can't, then you're not an adult. You know, if you're still sulking, if he's still sulking about that, then he can go on loan somewhere. Because if he's still sulking about that and it's affecting his play, he can go on loan somewhere. If his off the field life isn't what it needs to be, he can go on loan somewhere. If he's 100% committed to playing for Liverpool and being the best he can for us, while the lads are saying right now at the peak of his youth, soon to be coming into the peak of his career. You're not going to have a long career. So make your mind up. My one question to him would be, do you want to play for Liverpool Football Club? That'll be it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thing is,
A lot of good advice, I think. A lot of good advice.
I just wanted to say to Trap Joe, like, give him a break. Thing is, like, we as a show, we don't really moan about players. Like, we're probably one of the only shows that rarely moans about the players. So for us to ever moan about a player, that guy must be doing something wrong. Like, we're not going to just say because like Darwin's in the last 2 games got a goal and an assist. Them guys are still going to be moaning at the shows, you know. But like us, as we do our show, we always sort of support our players and stuff. And I think the thing
Trap
with
Joe, man. Trap Joe, 2 words. Trap Joe, 2 words. Tough love, man. It's called tough love. You know, and the most important word is the second one. That's all this is tough love. This isn't us slagging a boy off or having a go at or kicking him. This is just
anything,
us.
The question was, what bit of advice would you give to him? Advice, not what kind of criticism or what, if you had a chance to, really bring the person down or like that. No, it's advice. It's a matter of just saying, hey, young man, take it from maybe an OG or someone that's, maybe.
We've been around the block a few times. We've seen it happen to kids. We don't want to see it to happen to you.
A lot
we
of
want
young
to see
players,
the next Maldini, not the next Ali.
Like, especially living in England, like, you've known over the years how much times they hype up youth players. We've
Look
seen
out
it for
for
decades.
them tabloids. Okay, look out for them tabloids when you're a young man of a certain background with a lot of money. You got to look out for them tabloids.
Yeah, but them tabloids boost. But these tabloids, Brian, they boost this guy because what happens is, as soon as he's on the scene, is this the new Maradona? Is this the new George Best? You know, that sort of bullshit they come out with. And that's what happens. Because England does it big time. They always hype their players up. And what happens? They all fall miserably. Big time.
Yeah, ask Raheem Sterling. Just ask Raheem Sterling how he's been, what his life has been like for the last 8 years. When it comes to then you'll see
racism as well. Yeah. But again,
we have a Go ahead, Monte.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say real quick that the game is already started, so just in case everyone knows. But go ahead.
All right. Spurs first minute goal. No, I was just wishing, but yeah. No, all I was going to say is just regarding that, because everyone in the panel, in our panel makes good points. I think with and JK and Brian make some excellent points there, and they, about the tabloids and Sterling exactly. But you see, with the media, they're paid to do stuff, narrative, whether it's true or false, try to create out stories. I mean, again, if you read between the lines, with the Sterling thing about the houses and there's institutional racism, and I'm trying not to go down that topic, but what I will say is racism will never go away. In media platforms, in media outlets, it's just that it's not as bad as it once was. There's certain things, and like I said, certain things you have to read between the lines. And unfortunately, sad to take, that's true in society and in everyday life. And there's a lot of things we can say. But that being said, with Kwanzaa, I think now we're saying about hyping, but now it's coming down to our own fan base, sadly enough. And I'm not saying on this and this, because we all and us in the chat, we're all level-headed people. We have constructive views, but I'm seeing on Liverpool podcasts, Liverpool channels, last season I'm hearing Kwanzaa FVQ. Your FVQ. I'm hearing that, and I never get into hype. He's a good player, but he let the guy turn. He's gonna have a turn to. And now we've got these same Liverpool fans on certain podcasts and channels of his coppage saying, "Oh, he's dead. He's trash. Selling for 50 million. He's never that good. He is good, but he's just not." Just highly rated, like I said. And this is the problem with other fan bases. I just feel embarrassed. The same with Again, I know I'm going to say the easy one because obviously that's my guy. But same with Joe Gomez. Oh, he was trash. He's a bum. Like the other season when he had a horrible season. But people forget every player was bad that season. It wasn't just him. And look at last season, in my opinion, he's one of the top 3. And then, and then Konate's injured and it's my life is over. Oh, Konate, the world's going to end. Oh, Liverpool going to struggle. Oh my gosh, what we're going to do? I mean, come on, man. Just like these idiots online and other podcasts. Like for me, and again, people can disagree. What does Kanati do that is so clear of Gomez? When Joey is on point, and again, I'm saying, yeah, Kanati might be the better, but he doesn't do anything for me, in my opinion, that I've seen that Joey can't do. Can Kanati play right back? Can he
Joey
play left back?
back in
No.
the team, and he like him who was
But
playing
again,
for months on
yeah,
end.
but
Then
this,
Jota
yeah,
just arrived back in the team.
yeah. But again, this is the problem, Lee. And guys, sorry, so I know I'm going on the topic of Kwanzaa. So just relating to Kwanzaa, people have a narrative and build up what they want to do. They don't understand the logistics of the game. They're just here for the here today, gone tomorrow. And this is the problem, and it's seeping in other podcasts and fan bases, and it's just disgraceful for me. Like, look, Kwanzaa, he's gonna be. Look, in my opinion, he will be quality. He will be quality. Look at the games he's already played at 21 in play games. He's playing in the cup final. So again, but it's just a narrative our fan base give, and just this, like not understanding the game. That's the problem. But Kwanzaa, man, I think we can agree as a panel and the chat that he will come good eventually. He will come good. He's 21. He's got another 10 to 15 years in the game. So yeah, that's it really.
And for me, I just knocked the nail on the head, bro. What happened to him was he worked hard for a couple of years to get to where he did. And what happened, that first game he got substituted, that gave him a reason to fuck around. If you understand my point. He was thinking, you know what? Like, I got dropped. I've worked hard for the last 2 years, concentrated on football.
He just had a couple of poor
Wait a second, Lee.
That's all it was.
Wait,
Wait
Lee.
a second, Lee. Wait a second, Lee. So for
You can chime
me,
in out there.
it was just an opportunity for him to fuck around now. Like, he's worked hard for the last few years to get to where he is. And sometimes he needs a little break. And that him not being in the team after the Ipswich game gave him that opportunity to sort of let his hair down. And with that can come problems, So that's all it is for me. He's young, bro. He's 21, man.
Yeah, defenders can make mistakes when they're 37.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But for me, his agent and his parents should help him out in that way. Like for me, what are agents getting paid for? Really? Like for me, look after your player mentally as well. Talk to him. Say to him what's wrong. Yeah.
I'm hoping that last night's performance was a turn in the road for him. Like, he was on top of it last night, and he fucking marshalled our defence not on his own. He had Endo with him, but he done the business last night. He got us through. And what more was he to do apart from score? Which he did get ripped off of in that Euro game. Remember that Euro game when he scored and he came up with some ludicrous thing from about half an hour before he scored that McAllister had fouled someone.
Right.
Anyway, Konzo will be all right if he just concentrates.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was a bag of worms there, but okay, or can of worms there. But all right. Let's see, Kwanzaa. Let's see what the channel or the chat has to say. Kwanzaa joined the club when he was 5 years old. We put him through school. We have kept the faith and let his peers sort him out. Certainly, I saw the comment that Bernie put in earlier about he's got some good role models on the club to hopefully set him straight. It's a difficult situation, though. It's a difficult situation. It's similar. It's the reason why. Again, I know. This is something that I said backstage, but I'll share this little glimmer of backstage what I spoke on. That was just there's a movie on or a show called Showtime on HBO, and it deals with the rise of the Lakers and the inner battles between the Lakers and the Celtics. Now, this is the NBA basketball. I get that, but you'll see the angle that I'm going with. What I'm talking about is a locker room. A locker room has many egos, many personalities, many different things you have to deal with. Whether it's the coach, whether it's the ownership, whether it's the players itself, and then you mix in the fans and the attention that they bring onto all of those subjects. And in this television, it's a series. I think it was a series it was either a series or a movie. It was on HBO, all the same. And why I'm talking about it is because you see some of these iconic players dealing with young talent coming into the locker room, dealing with, being a player that's being phased out possibly as a squad player, or players that are perennial all-stars, but now they've they're missing a step, or and now the whispers are getting louder and louder amongst them about, oh, maybe they're done, or maybe they need to be shipped out. Locker rooms have an amazing ability of working things out amongst themselves because they're a family. For the most part, they're utilized as being a family or oriented situation. I think the locker room here for the Reds is just that. That's one of the major reasons why I love the fact that Jurgen Klopp was a part of this club, because it definitely had an element of family and togetherness and us
that's
against the
what last
world.
night's result. I was mindful of that, like last night's result and the way we played. What Slott's inherited, he has inherited that sort of atmosphere, hasn't he? And that's why we
Right.
were able to do what we did last night.
Right, and it's an element where he doesn't have to necessarily try to show what kind of leader, and this is I'm talking about Slot, what kind of leader or this or that he has to be in his own terms, but he's already got those foundational pieces set. He's already got characters, actual people in the locker room that have established respect and have established modes of being able to handle inner problems within the club, as opposed to bringing them out into the public in the journals, or utilizing them, with incidents on the pitch and the likes, or that's the unique thing I think about our fan base, or excuse me, our club. Our fan base, sometimes, different story, but our fan base and our club, I think that's something that I pride ourselves on, and it's something that I appreciate. And it's why I do have hope for Kwanzaa working things out, figuring things out, because he's got good role models, whether it was Matip before him, before he got into the role, whether it was whether it's VVD, whether it's Ibu, who has taken on I think Ibu has stepped up immensely as being a leader, for the especially for the younger players on this team. Whether it's Gomez, who's spoken about his own pursuit of dealing with hardships and the likes of his career, whether it's injuries, whether it's personal issues, whether it's just bouts of trying to find form on the pitch. This team figures it out. That's why more times than not, I don't get on their back so quickly, because I understand that this team has an immense ability to work it out. Chances are they will figure out things because they have such an immensely incredible foundation to work from. That's
I really liked Morton when he went to right back. I was pleased about that he went to right back and still did well. It just looked like one of those old performances from years ago where we do that like in places. And I was just really pleased with the whole performance. Like I said, it's the after effect of what Klopp laid down, isn't it? And they couldn't have appointed anyone better. It would have took a really bad appointment to fuck this up. Like, if I can go, be as bold, but I mean, Arnie's just come in, hasn't he, and seen, yeah, this is all good. I'm gonna work some magic.
Yeah, it's important. I always stress those are like crazy little intangibles that you have to put into the equation. So the last thing you want to do is feel crappy about, if you don't feel good about your workplace, if it's a toxic environment, if it's a place where the people are just, very argumentative, and you have fragments, you don't feel like a band of brothers in the sense, chances are, I'm not saying it's always like that, because not every locker room's like that. And you've seen some locker rooms that aren't friends off the pitch, but they still go on to win great things. But I'm just saying that it doesn't hurt, I think, to have a locker room like this, because sometimes that could be the difference of you making it through the hard times. And they've been through hard times. This club has been through some difficult moments and parts where they've had to battle through, whether it's like personal things, injuries, pandemics. Like, everyone has to deal with their own things and the likes. Every team does. But I think it's a measure of true champions the way that we do it.
I think with someone like Kwanzaa, what you have is basically what we're trying to get at here is that these guys, they get to a certain point in their career where they've spent pretty much their whole lives being the top dog. You can bet Kwanzaa was probably the best, if not he was one of the best, if not the best player at almost every age group in his position. He's probably always been like, oh, he's going to be some player. He's going to be some player. He's going to be some player. That's you. That's fine. You can do it at under 18s, under 16s, up to the under 20s, even the under 23s. Now, when you get to the room with all the top dogs in it, where you've got a McAllister, you've got a Mo Salah, you've got an Andy Robertson, you've got a Trent, you're not going to be top dog anymore. You're not going to be. So how do you handle that? Can you handle that bit? That's what some of them can't handle. It's all about what can you handle. I think he has it. There's no question about this guy when it comes to footballing chops. He's got that. He's not the finished article. Of course, he's not. He's too young to be. But he's got all the bit. But it's how do you handle the step up? And he's been given the big step up. So, okay, well, how do you handle when you get that big step up, but life gives you a knock back down again? When you get taken off at halftime, big call, on national TV in front of the whole world, the new manager.
Right.
So how do you handle that as a player? How do you deal with that? How do you come back from that? So I think we're talking about it now because it's not crossroads. It's not that he's at a crossroads in his career, but he's really at a pivotal point now where it's like, do we say, yeah, we don't need another center half in his position because we have him? We don't. No, we're good with him now. So that's what I'm interested to see.
I've been saying it for years, like even before Matip was injured and that. It's got nothing to do with Joe Giroud that we do need a fifth centre half to compete with City.
Yeah. Okay. There are a bunch of other topics I definitely want to talk about. I didn't want to get too hunkered down on Kwanzaa because I do think that he'll figure it out. I do think that he will make a difference in this. He'll have his moment or he'll have his opportunity to make a real difference for us in some circumstance. Every player has had a situation where they get to have their bit of redemption. But yes, it is 1-0, by the way.
Yeah.
It is 1-0 Spurs up against Manchester United.
Big down.
Yeah, I think the injury thing with Ebu and Joe both have had quite a lot of injuries over the years that we do need a fifth one, the way City have. Because City are going to be up and running again soon. If they don't get charged, they're going to be buying willy-nilly again soon. I think they've already got 5 centre-halves and had for the longest of time since Pep's been their manager. We need a fifth one.
Yeah. I did have something else that I did want to talk about. Speaking of, I'm going to bring up some of this as well. So, there is a game going on right now. It is 1-0. Dominic Solanke just put back a very, very nice goal there off a rebound. He ended up scoring to make it 1-0. But for our game, this was the lineup for our game yesterday. I think it's kind of fitting that Endo was utilized as being the face of the advertisement for the lineup yesterday. Well, like whoever was the whoever had the 8 ball or the crystal ball, picked a good person to put on as the spokesperson or cover person for us. But yes, Kelleher, Gomez, Endo, Nunez, McAllister, Cody, Elliott, Trent, Kwanzaa, Morton, and Neone were the ones that started this game for us. A lot of good names were left out of this lineup, but yet this crew in an absolute ugly raining affair yesterday with like some swirling winds and consistent rainfall still battled back or battled on, I should say. And got this victory. Now, yesterday, this was something I saw that was kind of interesting. We always talk about the feel-good moments and everything for the likes, Which one of these four moments was your feel-good moment for yesterday's match?
My feel-good moment was Nunez baiting the Southampton fans after the Andy Carroll chant went on too long. Even after he'd scored, he kept going. That was my feel-good moment.
Okay. How about for you, JK?
Darwin scoring.
You
Every
got to
time
pick
he
one of the
scores,
four.
it's
Yeah.
good.
If you,
Yeah.
I know you might have another moment or out there,
Mhm.
the likes, but we're just saying from these 4 moments, what was your favorite?
Yeah. Nunes' goal.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't beat Nunes. You've got to give the guy his pluck, haven't you? Like, the way those fans were kicking off on him, like it must be his shit. And then he goes, "Didn't you notice I scored a minute ago? He's still singing that." You've got to give him it for that.
That's what I mean. They were singing that song and then bang, he scores. So I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about for you, Brian?
They were all nice moments. Mainly, well, I give it to Nioni. Yeah, give it to Nioni. He drifted a bit. He didn't get to stamp his, name on the game, but it was good. Good to see him get a start.
Okay. How about for you, Navante? Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I just missed that. Oh, this man of the match?
No. This was just, I would say out of these 4 moments, which was your
Feel
favorite
good
moment?
moment. What made you laugh? What made you buzz?
You know what? I'll say Chiesa because he's someone we needed, and yeah, man, it's just great to see him return. And let's just hope, touch wood, touch metal, touch your wall, touch your head, do heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. Hopefully, they don't get injured again.
Okay. I was just wondering. Let's see. I'm trying to tell me. I get you. I got you on the Elliott goal. I got you. The Elliott goal was also a deflected goal. That's why I didn't necessarily put one to put as the 4. But there was one of the 4. Let's see. I saw Kevin just ask about the Elliott goal. Elliott goal it was good to see Elliott in there too. But I'm just asking for one of the 4. All right. I know. Just asking for one. I'm looking to see if anyone gives any options in the chat. Let's see. Did anyone answer in the chat? No. Red for Life said Endo. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. He said nutmeg. Okay. All right.
Darwin thing's
Endo
the
1%.
obvious funny thing. Obvious is funny sometimes. Like,
Okay. Endo from Kevin as well. I was so happy for Endo yesterday. There were some things yesterday were definitely very, very good about it. I'll bring up Endo's portion then first here. So for Endo in yesterday's matchup, let me just bring this down too. Yesterday for Endo was pretty dialed in despite, he was getting beat up on the pitch. I mentioned that quite a few times on the reaction. But if you did look at Endo's statistics, Endo was pretty decently put in yesterday in that Endo had 2 clearances, was 93% for his passing. Did miss one of it. He had one long ball attempt, which is unlike Endo. You don't really necessarily see him as a long ball threat, but he did try to get one in there. But what was great about him was he was 8 for 8 for his ground duels. 8 for 8 for ground duels. 3 out of 5 for aerial duels. Only lost the ball 6 times, but was fouled 4 times yesterday. Really putting in a shift. Had 2 clearances, had a block shot, had 2 interceptions, 4 tackles. Really put in a really great shift yesterday. And there was a moment where I just mentioned how he had 3 out of 5 aerial duels. There was a moment where he was standing next to Onachu, right? And he was marking him. He was actually marking Onachu. And I was just like, with the time with corner kicks coaches, Where's the corner kick coach on that? On that, maybe he needs to come up off the bench and yell, make sure that we get the right assignment. But obviously, it ended up working out. It was pretty funny to see Endo next to this, like, behemoth of a man. Yet it does not matter. Endo is the utterance of, like, the pure essence of what a true professional is. And there's certain things about players and the likes you could say, oh, he's not good enough or this or that, and the likes. But all the same, I think that he sets a very incredible tone and an incredible, definitely an incredible.
Yeah, Endo was good.
And that's good. Yeah, there you go. I've
watched this game twice now in its entirety, and the thing that's burned into my brain is Darwin's irritation with the shit Andy Carroll chants after he scored when it carried on.
Well, we'll get on to Darwin, but this is Endo's moment, I guess. Did you guys have some perspectives? I know the chat was very, very kind to say that it was Endo's moments yesterday that kind of like won them over. A lot of people, I know that, like, I keep hearing it from some of the other channels that sometimes show love, some of the other channels don't show love for this individual. But how about for you yesterday? What did you like about Endo's game? Let's begin with Brian this time, and then we'll go around the horn.
Well,
it's his. Before we begin, I was just glad that Endo was playing, and it was good to see the guy.
Wait, hold on, Lee. Let Brian go. Then we're gonna go Brian, JK. We'll go you, and then Lee, and then we'll go to Nolante. Let Brian give his say.
Just great. See, I was kind of wondering where he was going to start before the game. Then when we saw it, it looked like he was in midfield. We're playing with a back three. But great little player. It's his competition, really, isn't it? He's got all the minutes in it. And like I said before, we always seem to have one player who has to stand out in this competition. And it was his compatriot there a while ago, Minamino, being the top scorer, and he's one of our best performers in this, and he'll probably get to play almost every minute right the way to the final, hopefully. But yeah, he showed his versatility. That would be the main thing for me. I think if you say to him, look, Endo, see ball, win ball, give ball, that's what he wants to do. See ball, win ball, give ball. That's it. That's why he's winning all those ground duels. He loves all that. He loves all that. Tackle people, get it, and give it to somebody else. Brilliant. Do it all day. So great. Yeah. The versatility, fitness, minutes in his legs, whole thing. And probably a deserved man of the match for a lot of people. So
yeah. He did get man of the match, actually. With what was it, JK? He got man of the match. Yeah, Carlsberg.
Mm-hmm. He got kicked a few times, didn't he?
Last night? Goodness. Kicked. He got kicked. He got
the ball in his bloody face.
Yeah, he got kicked, smacked, hit, like pushed over. Like it was like he wore the gum shield for a reason yesterday, and I didn't know if it was like if he was doing like a UFC fight or
the ball is some squarely in the balls.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Well, it hit him in the face actually,
sorry.
But yeah.
Sorry, I meant to put up your previous comment, Max. But yeah, that's great news, Max, about the everything, the kids and everything. So, but
yeah,
what did I put up there? Sorry. Yeah, I meant to put up his previous comment. Yeah. Like I say, lads, anybody wants to call in is open. The link is in the chat.
Yeah, if you want to have a say or want to chime in. It is Thursday tea session. We're just doing a little bit of a hate along in the background. A mild hate along, I guess. Well, it is Red Devils, I guess you could say. It's a proper hate along.
Still 1-0.
Still 1-0, 29th minute. At least that's what I'm on in my feed in my background.
Yeah, no shots on target from United. One corner. Spurs have had 0 corners, but yeah, United have not been threatening in any way. They've had 2 shots and 0 on target. So that's pretty much the United team right now. after what?
I
Half
get
an hour?
that Sky Sports gave him man of the match, but we're saying the Carlsberg man of the match, which is the one given to by the club, was
By the club, yeah. Endo.
was Endo. So
I think it was a
you
good.
can say which one from Sky Sports, but
I think
yeah.
it was a good game for Ender to show Slot what he's capable of actually doing. Because, like, for me, yesterday, Ender was just top class, bro. And I'll tell you the truth, the only problem with Ender was when he first started playing for us, like, he kept on giving yellow cards away and free kicks. Slowly, he got used to the pace, used to when to give them yellow cards. And every time he plays for us, bro, he's reliable. Come on,
Yeah.
man. And people
Yeah.
moan about him, like sell him to was it Inter Milan or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard something.
Yeah,
Yo,
man. Yeah,
he's a squad player, man.
Mr. Mac with his predictions.
You know, people
I
think.
mean, like, I guess if you give a prediction for every player, eventually you're gonna get one
I've
of them
never
right.
seen that story. I still haven't seen that story anywhere.
I heard about Endo's, like, he's been rumoured and that. But don't fans realise that it isn't the tea lady and the guy who sorts the seats out and cleans around that area who's on the subs bench? We need players, bro. And for me, Endo as a sub player, even to start a game, I'll give him that spot. Why? Because he's a proper professional, bro. Never seen him moan. Never made no drama. You know, he's living the life.
It's one of those cases. You know what it is too.
Slot thinks about his own midfield. I don't think we'll see him after the summer, will we?
Whether we'll see him after the summer or not, I'm not certain. But I can say that with Endo, for me at least, it's one of those cases where, like, as a player, you have, again, a locker room full of all different types of egos and attitudes and, you know, perceptions of their own skills and talent levels and the likes. But when you see someone like a James Milner, like an Endo out there doing nothing but working hard, despite the fact that they might not get the minutes, they might not get the starts, all the same, but they're still working as if they do or will, or when they do, they're prepared. You have to, in your mind, have a little bit of respect. And if anything, if you want to take a bit of someone's game away from, or at least mindset away from, and incorporate it into your own game, the way that Endo goes about his craft is a honorable thing, an absolutely honorable.
Yeah, it's not what it is when we're saying, like, oh, he's going to leave in the summer. It's just like he's not a slot player. He did what he did for Klopp last season. And
I think though that if he gets these opportunities like yesterday, maybe he can become a slot player. Maybe he can become someone that he knows that, at least for this year. I'm not saying that he's going to go on for next year or not. I don't know, but I mean, like, I just know that there are people out there. I just know, Lee, that there are people out there that were saying
more of them in the Premier League, but we haven't. So
I'm just saying, Lee. I'm just saying that there are. I know, Lee. We got to get you your headphones, brother. We definitely got to get you headphones. But I'm just saying out that there are people out there though that were saying that he's going to be gone. Like, there are people that are saying he wasn't even going to be a part of this club going into the summer or coming out of the summertime. And then there are people saying that now that he's going to be, you know, one of the first to leave in January. And I'm just like, okay, well, you know, if January comes and he does leave, okay. But I mean, it is important to have these types of characters on your squad.
Exactly.
It's important to have these types of players on your squad. Not everyone's going to be a Galactico, perennial, like, you know, superstar player. But
I am looking at it from the point of view that he's done us a favour with being here and been a good player and that. But I think he's going to leave in the summer.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what, 12, that fans think it's their money, it's their money they're taking Endo's wages from. You know, like, come on, man. Endo leaving the club is not going to benefit us in any way.
Right.
Him staying will benefit us, as you've seen last night. Like, fucking hell, you know, some fans, I swear, like, they need to wake up. Like, it's a squad game, man. It ain't 11 players. It's about 15, 16, 17 players you need to win a league, to win a Champions League, League Cup and FA Cup. It's like, you need mans like Gomez. You need people like Endo. Them two alone have been like, oh, they have to leave. Like, why? They're going to do a job. It's like, people need to chill out.
He cost a few bob, Endo. Like, he cost, like, not much, did he? But how much was that offer for him? How much was that offer for him from Italy?
Say again?
If we got 10 million for him, yeah, but for me, he's still got something to do this season. And we'll need him along the way. And for me, that's worth more than money. At the end of the day, we need a DM anyway. I've been saying, even if we've got Endo, I said we need a DM sort of player to play alongside Gravenberch, to play a double sort of pivot. So I'm looking at that type of player anyway. But until then, use Endo. Because why? He can do the basics right, what Brian just said. Get it, pass it on. Get it, pass it on. And he can slide tackle, can get stuck in.
Yeah,
Like, what
not afraid to get involved into a tackle, to take a yellow card. You know, isn't intimidated to go up and go for a header against any person on the pitch. Does not matter who it is. Is a player that is going to isn't as physically intimidating as some of the other players that we have. But I mean, that's the whole part and point of what I'm saying is that sometimes.
Tell you what, last season comes up, he'll have more medals in his fucking or whatever the fuck you call it than most players.
Right, I got you. I'm just trying to get the point out that he is a player that you have to have these kinds of players on the team. That's the reason why I brought up the reference about Showtime. As in, there's going to be arguments in the locker room. There's going to be players that you're going to need, and they're going to come up important for you. For those that know basketball, Kurt Rambis isn't the most talented player you will come across ever. But for the Lakers, he proved a point. Kevin McHale was not the most talented player ever or most intimidating or talented player ever, but he played a part and point for the Boston Celtics. Players matter. Certain players matter for certain reasons. Origi wasn't exactly, a guaranteed starter on our team, but yet he came up big for us in a lot of circumstances or a lot of cases. Shaqiri, another good player, but was he an outright starter for every game? No, but he actually played well, or actually did play well at times for us, or had meaningful moments for us. And it's about those moments that can kind of make the difference. So that's why that's what I was getting at.
Like when you look at a car, you can't drive a car without doors. Gomez and Endo are them doors.
Okay. All
Just
right.
leave it as that. Leave it as that.
Okay.
There you go.
Another player yesterday that was really, really good to see. And that was someone that Brian had mentioned. I think Brian mentioned it as his field goal moment. And that was this young individual getting his first senior start. That's a lot of trust and a lot of trust and a lot of confidence building you're putting into a player like himself. But also we're doing just another it seems to me to be another testament of why we saw the Manchester City boy Clark just signed with us. Why Rio left Chelsea and is just signed with us. Why a lot of these players are making efforts to try to find their way, a pathway towards a team like a Liverpool, because there is a pathway towards maybe getting an opportunity to play with the club, with the first team. And even if it's not with this first team, it's at least knowing that if you have the ability to play in a first team like Liverpool, chances are you have the ability to play on any first team in the world. So it is pretty incredible to see. What were your thoughts on seeing Nolante, but seeing Nioni? I was going to go to Nolante actually, but Nioni play yesterday. I don't know if Nolante got on the pitch or not, but maybe he did or not. But go ahead, Nolante.
In my dreams, yeah, I did. I was on the box to box, but just before I start with Trey, I just want to say just quickly on the Endo stuff. Like I said, and again, I have to big up yourself, 12, and our German correspondents, JK in the building. You 12, you've been championing Endo from day one, and JK, obviously, you got your scouts there in the German league. People. I just want, ladies and gentlemen, people want to understand JK is fairly connected in the German league. Believe me, he's just modest about it. He's very connected, yeah. And both gave some stats about Endo, and obviously, I don't know about Brian or Lee. I was one of those ones who was like, nah, I'm disappointed. We could have got, there's so many you could have got out there, but again, people just have to prove the worth. And fair play last season, Endo proved his worth in the team.
Yeah.
And again, I said at the start of this season, we're not getting anyone. You need to give Endo games to rest. Now, I don't. Again, we can't. Slot is not a perfect coach. No coach is perfect. So
Mhm.
I didn't like the way he's kind of mistreating Endo in certain circumstances, honestly. And yesterday's man of the match performance shows that if you're not getting who you're getting, and I repeat, in January, 12th man, Endo, aka the Japanese samurai, the man with the gum shield ready for war to take kicks, blows, elbows, pokes in the eyes, everything. We saw that yesterday. He needs to start some games. And this is what I'm going to keep retelling. If we want to win this title, these plays need to be used. Even Tyler Morton, these pieces need to be used because Grover Birch and Mac will need some rest at certain points of the season because it will be our point when we need to sink or swim. So that's my point with the Japanese samurai. So salute to 12th and JK on that. Both
just answer your question quickly.
Yeah.
My opinion on Endo when he joined was I've never heard of him, and for a full month I thought he was the guy that played for Japan that has like the razor blade shave, like the fully bald head. There's a guy that plays for Japan in midfield.
Oh yeah.
For a month I thought that was who we were signing. Yeah, I had not heard of him, so I was like, happy to learn.
Once he acclimatized in that clock midfield last season, remember he said he went. I think people can see now why I came here, and we caught it was brilliant, wasn't it? It just hasn't been the thing this season, so we'll probably sell him, like, won't we? But he's been excellent, like, hasn't he? You know what I mean?
It's not the reaction I remember. The reaction I remember was 90%. I'm going to paraphrase 90% of the reaction. 90% of the reaction was we fucked up the Caicedo deal. Now we've gone off and gotten this Jörg Schmacke contacts book reject that no one's ever heard of. That was 90% of people's reaction.
I had a lot
went for this. We went for that.
Season when people said Endo was shit immediately because he didn't fucking win man of the match in his first fucking 2 games. And I was like, yeah, what are you on about now? What are you saying now? And I'm not saying he's shit now. I'm just saying he doesn't fit the pattern now, does he? Like, so I'm thinking about him going and that. When I was looking at that picture of him before, I was thinking about him going and gone. But he's still here to play a part while he's here, isn't he? It's just like,
this is the whole point we're trying to make. While this guy is here, he can absolutely do a job. And that's all you need.
Simple.
That's all we're saying.
That's what we were saying, bro. You know? I played on the same pitches as Endo in Stuttgart and stuff. And my friends who have season tickets there, they said to me, you're going to get a proper professional and he's going to put a shift in. So I just left it as that. And I'll tell you the truth, he's done what they said. He's put a shift in, and whenever we've needed him, he's done a job.
Yeah. That's just the only thing I was looking for was just the gratitude of it all, like as an opportunity for people to show him some gratitude towards the sense that he's always going to come. He doesn't complain. He shows up. He's always on. He's punctual. Shows up on time. Is going to put in a shift. Isn't going to be a problem in the locker room. And that's that. There's not much more you can.
We haven't seen him for a few more minutes, like when we fucking won the game against whoever the bastard was, and he come on like when we.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh, and I know you're trying. But the fact he said he's punctual, there he shows up on time. That's so Lee.
Sorry, Newcastle. He should have come
on. Let's not talk over each other. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Lee. Go on.
Was that
we brought Endo on the moment we were in front at Newcastle? Things could have ended differently. May have ended differently. It's another different person on the pitch. It might have went down differently if Endo was in there.
Yeah. Very could have. And what do you want to say, Brian? Too.
Oh no, I was just going to make a joke about something, but it won't work now. So
about the punctual thing. I mean, the punctual thing is
No, I was going to say it's funny you said like he's punctual, he shows up on time. I mean, that's everyone has to do that, but I mean, like
not everyone does do that though, Brian. That's
I know. Yeah, Yeah, just
Yeah.
I was just joking. I was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No,
glad-
because you know why?
no,
Because I saw. 'Cause I think it was
no,
it was Roy Keane that said something about like he was talking about something, and he was about how like I think it was Roy Keane who was talking about it, but it was he was talking about how a player showed up like a couple minutes late, and the coach just like sent him home, and it wasn't like he was like an hour late or something like that, but you know sometimes it does matter. And I know that Balotelli was horrible about showing up on time and doing things.
yeah, no.
Impossible.
Can I just get to what
The world needs
actually?
bricks.
Fuck it,
It's
forget
running
it.
out of them at an increasing rate.
Brian, go ahead. Finish your point.
Well, I wasn't trying to say it's not. I was trying to say it is incredibly. Everybody has to do that. If you go to any club right now, I'm not saying. Please don't say, "Oh, but that guy showed up late." Yeah, this is the whole point. They have fine systems at clubs now, and it depends how strict they are. Like if you're a minute late for a team meeting, if you're 5 minutes late for a team meeting, you can be fined up to 5, 10, even £15,000, depending on your wage structure. You can be dropped. Players have been dropped from teams for showing up 5 minutes late for team meetings. Like it's a huge thing at clubs. It's to keep like basically people show up late. You're in big trouble if you show up late.
Yeah, there's
And
always
it's down
players
to the
like that
captains.
right throughout the history.
Lee,
of football.
let him finish his point. Let him finish his point. Go ahead, Brian.
But yeah, it's always run through the captain usually, and the manager will set out what it's basically, late for a team meeting, more than 30 minutes late for training, late for all that, and then it's the captain's job is to literally go around and say, "You fucked up on Tuesday, 10 grand," and then it'll usually go to the foundation, whatever. It'll always go to charity. But yeah, teams and clubs, like I know, I was just saying it was funny. It's like if people showed up late, because he's thinking, I show up late, man, that's 10 grand. Like I'm showing
Right?
up on
Yeah,
time.
yeah, it's a lot of money. I get what
Oh
you're saying.
yeah, man, you show, and especially if you show up late for a team meeting, like even like you're saying 2 minutes late, that's massively disrespectful. Like because
Yeah,
like you're a footballer, you don't have a lot to do. Like
yeah,
you can be on time for this stuff. So yeah, that is a huge thing at the big clubs, man. It's big fines and it's all run through the captain. The captain goes around collecting the fines at the end of the week. You were
yeah.
late for training. You were this. You were late on the bus. Getting
Uh-huh.
late on the bus is another big one. That kind of stuff. So I love you got that kind
I
of
think it's the
discipline.
vice captain, but yeah, I get what you're saying though. I get what you're
But
saying.
yeah, it'll be captain. But every club will do their own kind of stuff.
Because
They'll have
for a while, because I remember it was Milner that went around collecting it for us.
Well,
But
I'd send Ebo round. Basically, I'd be sending
yeah,
Ebo
send
round
Ibu.
to collect money. That's basically what I'd be sending around.
That would be good. That would
Let me
be
go
really
paying up
good.
straight away. Yeah. We're
Yeah,
not sending. Yeah. I'm not sending trainee only around. Let's put it that way.
yeah. No doubt, no doubt. I know. I mean, you might be right though. Maybe Ibu is the person that goes around because
That's why he's always
I
getting
couldn't
injured,
I
falling
couldn't
over the
see
money
Trent
bag.
going around doing it. I couldn't see Trent going around doing it. Virgil probably just has no time for it. But I mean, like
Yeah.
I don't know if I
The
see Trent
perfect
going around being
combination.
like, you owe this amount for being late or
Ebo and Robbo. That's the perfect
yeah.
combination.
I see them doing it. Yeah,
Robbo just go full Scottish hard man on it, and
yeah.
then Ebo just standing there 6'4". Robbo get the accent on and everything.
Robert
Yeah,
walks in with a kilt and
like
does his
Begbie.
best, like
Yeah,
yeah,
like Begbie
Braveheart.
walking in with the rock. Like it's just okay.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh man. Did you want to add something, Lee? Did you want to add something to what we were saying? Because we were talking, this is really about Trey. This is about Neoni's time, actually, but because we're gonna get two other players I had lined up, and then I have some other fun stuff that I wanted to bring up. It's about talking about some other clubs outside of our club, obviously.
Cool, huh?
Can we talk about Man United and how much we don't like them?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in 1 minute. 1 minute, or in a little bit. I'll bring that up in a second.
They would refer to themselves as the Reds because their top is red. We wear all red. We're the only Reds. Other people call themselves red because their top is red. It's rubbish. That like, I don't understand.
Maybe
that.
that's why they're the Red Devils then.
Yeah. Yeah, the Devils may.
They're liars. They're liars.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go. There you go, Lee. Yeah, well, Trey Noni, great to see him start yesterday. Great to see him play. A lot of the other parts and points that I brought up about the youth players that were that actually got some opportunities. Obviously, Tyler Morton getting an opportunity. Kwanzaa is a former youth academy player that's gotten a lot of starts. We don't necessarily look at him as a youth academy player any longer, as he has, he's more of a senior player than it is a youth academy player. Tyler Morton the same, but yeah, it was good to see him do what he had needed to do. And it was also good to see out of those four, it was also good to see this guy right here, basically this is what Lee was talking about.
Yeah, the shit
When he was-
chance went on for ages after he'd scored, which I got a laugh out of, and he certainly did as well.
Yeah. This is right when after he scored, he was kind of like, giving it to and for the fans, showing love as well. Because I
like that picture.
It's a really good picture. I saw a lot of people go with that as their thumbnails, actually.
That's mine.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people go with that for his thumbnails. But yeah, good to see here. Great picture. Trent wearing the captain's armband too, by the way, but the sheer look in Nunez's face is hilarious.
Wicked.
yeah, it looks hilarious.
What'd you say about me?
Exactly.
Saying to me,
it's
I've
cold.
heard that chant everywhere. Can't you come up with something original?
Oh yeah, with the chance. So let them do what they
Let
need
them carry
to
on,
do.
bro. Because every time they do, we score.
He ends up really putting in something. He ends up he ends up shutting him up in his own way, which is great to see.
I'll quickly say something. Have you noticed our fans never really sort of sing songs against the opposition? We only sing our songs. Have you noticed that though? We'll sing the Everton one, the Christmas Everton song.
Yeah, they're always robbing our songs.
But we don't really think about opposition teams, really. Not like the other teams, how they do go against us.
Mm-hmm.
Any good song we've ever made up is always robbed by our rivals. What was that one? Reset back in hoo-ha. That got ripped and robbed all over the land.
Ripped and robbed. I'll tell you what's about to try to get ripped and robbed. Shout out to, I don't know if Marion, I guess we would have seen if Marion was a part of the chat because I already showed 2 pictures of Nunez, so we would have known, we would have heard something by now.
Red Handcharge supporters comment.
Yeah, I feel bad for Andy. He's like thinking, what did I do?
He's it's true.
Yeah, he's getting dragged. He's catching strays all over the place. He's like, I had to put up with that when I was playing. Now I'm getting it too. I think he's still going. Actually, I think he's still playing.
Yeah, he's still playing in France.
He is.
Yeah.
He's, yeah, he's still going. He hasn't given up the ghost shit. But yeah, he's just thinking, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
But no, JK is right. We don't do that shit. We don't do that whole thing there that he's talking about. We don't. You might get a few heads in the crowd, but we don't do that en masse. We just we sing our own songs. I'm sure, there's things about
apart from us, if I can name another place in the country, is Leeds. Leeds have got a few all right ones. Leeds are quite tasty. The rest of the country is a fucking dead zone as far as chanting goes and good songs and rhythmic, whatever you want to call it. The rest of the country is a fucking dead zone apart from Leeds.
Talking about Leeds, we were going to buy Lee Boa. Remember Lee Boa?
Yeah.
From Leeds. And what
happened?
When
we were going to buy Lee Boa, yeah.
They didn't like his attitude.
Too. This is like sad.
Brilliant, Lee Boa. Let's have that right. Lee Boa was brilliant. But whenever
you've
rattled a fan base when all they can do is sing songs about your players. you've really rattled them. If you sing songs about our players, that's something.
You know, the ones I like from around the country is Newcastle, because it's like up north and their language sounds weird when they say different words. They say it in a weird way, so that makes me laugh, like, on that level.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Says the man with a Scouse accent, completely unironically.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or something, or wah when they mean us. Wah means us in Newcastle.
Yeah, they lean into that a bit too much, some of them.
Why, man? Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
You know, they're wearing fucking, I don't even know what you call them, the things on their heads, and then the Lee or Jacob, what are they called? Like what the sheikhs wear, the white robe thing. What's that called?
The shawl, like a shawl, innit?
Yeah,
the head
that
cover.
thing.
Yeah.
Is that what the Geordie fans are up to now?
When they all started dressing up as somebody, yeah.
We're gonna end up getting them. We're gonna end up getting them in the semi-final. Watch.
When you see Newcastle fans on the telly, it was always
we'll see.
Slaphead in the stands with like shirt on, like giving us
nothing
or something.
It's nothing like a 1-0 lead for Spurs going into halftime. I mean,
Newcastle sorry.
Okay.
No, they just used to be famous for, like, you go to Newcastle and be like -5 degrees in January, and there'd be like 20 guys in the stand with
Sting is from somewhere near you, and so is Roxy Music, so it's not that bad a place. I know you laugh and go, well, fucking Newcastle, what's ever come from there? But there was Sting, who was part of the police. Well, one of them. The other two were from somewhere else. And Roxy Music's got something to do with Newcastle, apparently.
I don't know. I do know that what I was going to bring up real quick is there was a rumor out there. Also, let me say this too before we even go on to the rumor. Let me say, it isn't that bad to just give a player his props sometimes. Cop TV and some of I think that was Cop TV was the only one I think that was really doing it, but like he's trying to bringing down, like, kind of diminishing the goal scored by him. It was like, oh, it wasn't a great finish, or and this and that about Nunez. I thought it was a good finish, to be honest with you. He went near post side. It wasn't an easy finish, and he scored it because he had plenty of time. You know how everyone gets on about having too much time to think about it. He had plenty of time to think about it. So yeah, that's just a shout out to
the touch that made it. I mean, it's a lucky goal. If you say, it's a deflection, but after the deflection, he had to do the work. So it's the first touch that if he messes up the first touch, then in fairness to the keeper, if you watch him, he's coming out, he does slip and he has to get back up to his feet. But then, yeah, he does have that extra bit of time. And as you mentioned before, we all know sometimes he seems to be better when he's instinctive. But he took his time, and he did go, like you say again. He did go to the near post, which is more difficult. I would have chipped him back the other way, but that's just that's what I would have done. But that was a space, and sometimes you see the space, you want to put it in, and that's it. So he did everything he needed to. But it was first touch that made it.
Yeah,
the way he took it down. If he gets that slightly wrong, it bounces a yard to the left, a yard to the right.
Yeah,
it's a completely different.
Yeah, it takes them too far out, or takes them, too close to the keeper. Yeah, that's why I was just saying. That's why I was only trying to note about Cop, because I like Cop TV, and they're usually very supportive and everything. And he is a Nunez fan, but it's like, I think sometimes you could give him props. He's got to assist. He's got to like. I remember people were taking down on the assist about it not being it was just an average assist, or it was this or that. And I'm like, it's an assist all the same. Like, as he made the pass, give him credit for at least doing it. And the same with the shot. I mean, like, I thought it was a good shot. And so you said the first touch was very, very important for him to get correct. But there is another part and point that I wanted to bring up, and that was for something I saw yesterday, what was like so silly to even see, but there is a report going around that apparently Real Madrid are interested in trying to bring Gravenberch to Real Madrid.
Lies, laughable
and-
lies.
And that it is rumored that they are willing to even get a swap deal to be a part of it, and that would be for Tuchemani as being the player that would be offered in the swap deal. Look, if you hear these kinds of things, just keep swiping, or keep scrolling or whatever you need to do. There's absolutely no way Liverpool is going for that deal. Tuchemani's a great player, good player.
Said better to be talked about than not talked about, and that's the way Ryan's playing. He's being talked about, isn't he?
Well, yeah, Gravenberch has made it clear that he is happy to be with the playing time he's getting. He's happy with the opportunity he's getting, and he is more than happy to be a Liverpool Red. As in, this is a club, a big name club that has really given him an opportunity to make and play, and show his talent. And I think he's showing the gratitude and appreciation for it. So, is anyone on the panel wanting to do that deal, by the way? Even in the chat?
Nope. Pass.
I know. I say we keep Grav too. A real Red armchair supporter. Anyone doing that deal?
No chance.
No chance.
None
What if they
whatsoever.
said Camavinga?
No.
Would you do that deal
No. Keep and Grav.
9.
over Camavinga? You'd say you'd
course,
want you keep
Yes,
Grav
yes.
over Camavinga?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care if it's Camavinga. I don't care if it's Shimeni. I don't care if it's Valverde.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Like I take all of those three, but I'm not giving him Gravenberch just to get one of those three, and I'm wondering if they work out.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's settled with us now. He's the guy in our midfield. If they want to unsettle us and unsettle him, cool, let them do it. That's what they do. But no, none of them are turning the needle in terms of making it worth losing him. No
Mhm.
chance.
Okay. Just asking the question. It's
Yeah.
a question.
No, I'm trying to give an answer other than
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
You know,
Lee, are you doing that deal? If it's whether it's Tuchemani or even Camavinga, if they even up the I think Camavinga is a better player than Tuchemani, to be honest with you personally. But
No, I'm thinking about our midfield long term and thinking whatever devastating signings we could make to make Ryan even better than he is. I think there is one or two we could have.
mhm. Just asking the question. JK, you doing that deal, or are you still saying no? Thank you. I'm happy with gravy.
Yeah, man. I'll stick with Gravenberch. But I like both players. I'd rather take him to us and have them two playing for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuchemani, good player. Camavinga is also very good.
Yeah, no, they're all. I mean, both incredible talents. This is a hypothetical, people. It's not. This is a hypothetical. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying hypothetically, if you had to pick, if that was the deal on the table, obviously, I would love to go out there and purchase
Buying
one
a
of
player
those.
from Madrid is relatively nil and has been for a long time. We're not going to buy anyone from Real Madrid, are we?
Yeah. Okay. Delante,
Nice
do you have an opinion on that one? Oh, no, it's not. Delante is not with us. I just saw him drop out. That's cool. That's cool. I saw that statistic and I was like, or that that blurb get mentioned. I was just like, that's just absolute hogwash.
Yeah,
But they'll pay some little they'll pay some little no-mark journalist, with the promise of a bigger story. Here, look, just throw this thing in there out in the paper that we're interested in him. That's, or even that, it's come from nowhere. And the guy, as we know all the time, these people us as fans are partly to blame. When there was only, a certain amount of TV channels and, no news 24 hours, any of that, you just find stuff out every day in the paper or whatever and things like that. Now fans demand 24-hour news. They demand 24-hour stories, Twitter. It's a global game.
Yeah.
Everyone's always awake somewhere. There has to be
Yeah.
news, stories. So if you want to be a website that gets traffic, if you want to be
Mhm.
a website that gets views, you have to come up with things all the time. That's why they got it. Like it's feeding the beast, as they keep talking about. I mean, there was an interview with David
Mhm.
Ornstein on The Athletic recently, and the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes was this guy who I assume was a professional journalist
Mhm.
acting like some kind of Taylor Swift fanboy, asking like, wow, it must be so like amazing to be a transfer journalist. Like, what's it like? Oh my God. Like, tell me, do you have two phones? You have two phones, right? It was just like, he's just a
2-0,
transfer
by the way.
journalist.
Mhm.
It's just this whole thing. It's like,
Yeah.
they're saying, oh, it's become a sport within itself. It's become an entertainment industry in itself. So, well, if people on the Athletics sit there and say it has often enough, people go, yeah, it has, hasn't it? Like they're treating David fucking Ornstein like he's Robert De Niro or something. Like the guy's on the pod every other week just talking shite, but then they do this special thing. It's oh my God, it's so we have like the one and only David Ornstein here.
Mhm.
It's like,
Right.
jeez, man.
Not the nail on the head there, bro. Not the nail on the head. It's true what you're saying.
Yes.
The way the transfer market, it's a soap opera. Like for me, not because of our owners, just in general, I don't really like rumors, and hence why I don't jump on the transfer news. Oh, this guy's saying this and this guy's saying that. Also, Liverpool don't really move like that. Liverpool keep it low key, and all of a sudden, Szoboszlai's here. No one said nothing about Szoboszlai. No one, and he was at
Yeah.
Liverpool. So for me, everyone they just talk bullshit to get paid. It depends on where you want to go to hear it.
I've never
It is
actually
2-0, by the way. It is
never
2-0 really from
seen
Jared.
that Dave Ornstein fella. I keep hearing his name and he says stuff and that, but I haven't seen him. Does he do videos that I could like subscribe to where you see him saying stuff?
I don't think you necessarily could. I don't know if he has videos you could subscribe to, other than he is he's a journalist for I know he's a journalist for NBC as well, but
Oh, he's like a
I think
worldwide.
he's like Sky Sports as well. I think possibly he's journalist for like he's a journalist that is
say like about like footy and that, but I've never seen him. I don't
Lee,
know. Like, who he is.
he's basically the English Fabrizio Romano. He's like there's Fabrizio Romano, and then they decided we need an English one, and so they decided to make Ornstein the English version of him or the UK based version of him.
I guess
They just decided it was going to be him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I keep hearing his bloody name. It gets thrown in all the time.
He's always on the Athletic. He's always on the Athletic. He's always on like 12 pounds. He does all the big shows.
Yeah.
Like if it's not him, it's like if it's not him, it's Romano. It's either
But that's the difference.
two.
I will admit that the difference is that Romano doesn't do too many, like he does more independent stuff. Romano's more
he knows where the money is. He's
he does. He's more he's generating his own
100%.
revenue
I have
streams
seen
through his own sites.
10 years ago or something, but I did see what he looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Romano knows how to make money more than anybody.
Yeah.
I saw someone do a leaked video about him, how much he charges to do different things, and it's like basically like minimum $5,000 to just be like if we wanted
to be
not
on
that
the
he
show.
would. Yeah, if he wanted, not that he would, but if he was to be on our show, like the minimum would be $5,000. Minimum. That's just to get him to just appear, basically.
Yeah.
And then to do like an hour or 2 hours or to do whatever, anything like that, it's like crazy money.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's good money is looking at this is our fixture list coming up for the Premier League. This is our fixture. What's that?
No, sorry, just answering. He just said, I think he is. Yeah, I believe he is. Anyway.
This is the fixture list. this is the fixture list for us that we have coming up. Obviously, we have Spurs on the 21st, and then we have a home game against Leicester. So we hopefully will get I don't know. We'll have to get Brian to organize something. Hopefully, we can get Ant to come in and do maybe,
Definitely.
Do
It's
something that we can
funny.
talk about that game.
Oh, he'll definitely do that. He will. Don't worry, he'll do that.
Yeah. And then West Ham after that, which should be a good game as well for us, because then we go into January for the 4th and have it be a home game against those Red Devils that we were just speaking on, who are now losing 2-0 in the League Cup game. And then Forest away, Brentford away, Ipswich home. It's a little bit on here and there. We've got to. I don't have all the fixtures put in there because there are going to be some FA Cup games that start to get filtered in there. There's going to be obviously a League Cup later on in January that we're going to have to figure out as well as to who and where we're going to be playing. But those are the fixtures that we have coming up. What's nice about that is that despite the fact that obviously we do have to take on a lot of the good teams. What's nice about that is we have the longest ongoing unbeaten run in all competitions so far out of all the teams. That is a pretty incredible statistic to be a part of. This is all top 5 leagues and all competitions, obviously. Yeah.
On a list of good ones that we've done, that's a good one.
What's that?
On a list of good unbeaten runs that we've done, that is a good one.
Yeah. What's surprising? I didn't know Lille with 16 games in there. That's pretty wild. I didn't expect to see that. And I believe Lille is playing. I want to say Lille is playing in Champions League, right? Aren't they playing Champions as well?
Yeah. They're doing well. Yeah,
they're doing decent for themselves.
That's where
Juventus in there.
Jonathan David, the Canadian guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's at Lille.
Yeah. The Real Sociedad have had a little bit of a resurgence since November. They've won 6 straight games. Another team in there, Arsenal have had an unbeaten streak. At least I say one. I say they're unbeaten. I should say that could be draws included. 8 games for Arsenal since November. Leverkusen since obviously our beatdown of them in the Champions League, they've won 8 games. Chelsea, another team that we're facing now with our streak in or our run for the Prem, 10 games since October. Pretty decent. But it is a measure of our club, I think, the way that we're doing so well.
Can I just say, in my lifetime supporting Liverpool, no one scores a greater variety of bangers than Luis Garcia.
Okay. It's random, but okay.
Fucking hell.
In my a random Luis Garcia shout, but we
can a lot of great players, but it was the way Garcia could tuck them away, like sometimes.
Oh, 3-0, by the way. 3-0.
Yeah, it was just fucking brilliant.
Solanke, absolute banger of a goal. You talk about bangers. Oh man, Solanke just scored an absolute nice goal.
Yeah,
Manchester United are in the mud right now.
Bollocks, like, and was good with his head, but it was just the variety of bloody goals that Garcia could score when he was in his pomp and in Rafa's team. That was a fucking brilliant forward. That one.
Mm-hmm.
I've just got to get that in there.
Definitely got it in. You got it in. No. There's no shame in bringing up.
His debut against West Brom, and he pulled his shirt down. Things that came after that with Luis Garcia, fucking brilliant.
He just made the Butcher, and then he just went by. Who was that? He went by the Butcher. Yeah, absolute, really, really. Spurs are getting one in on them.
Right, the most outrageous header I've ever seen known to man was Garcia in the Champions League.
Lindelof, by the way.
don't
go.
know who we were fucking playing that night, but he headed it from an outrageous angle, and it just went right into the corner. Brian will know.
Okay.
Brian will know who we were playing that
Okay.
night. I just can't remember. But fuck it. That was it to me. I was never any good with me. I'd never tried to be good with me. As that goal was just like, back off. Have it.
Definitely so. Here, Brian, can you take over for a quick second?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So what have we got coming up? What have we got? That Gomers. Yeah, I'm not sure which one you mean. Aaron's a good coach, magician. Yeah, the guy you're talking about, Charles Guillaume Balaguer. Do you remember really when that kind of happened? When Rafa and Mourinho came in, all of a sudden everybody needed like a Spanish correspondent, and Guillaume Balaguer just became like the biggest thing on Sky Sports. But I'm just looking at that. I don't know what you guys think.
I always have been. I have different points of view to him sometimes. He says some weird stuff. It's some sort of like French, what's the word? French and stuff about how their footy's better than ours. But I like him all the same.
The only thing, I was just looking at that list, right? We've got, okay, Tottenham away is a difficult. If you look at it, Leicester at home, West Ham away, Manchester United at home, Forest away might be tough, Brentford away might be tough, but it's still Forest, Brentford, and then Ipswich. So that's really, after the Tottenham game, we've got Leicester, we've got West Ham, we've got Manchester United at home, and they're terrible. We've got Forest, we've got Brentford, and we've got Ipswich. I don't think that's the toughest run of games in the world, lads, is it?
Not really. No.
Yeah.
Like, when I look at them, pretty all right, you know. Like United at home, can't wait for that again. Like, look at them tonight, 3-0. It's not really. But I think what we had in the last few weeks was bad. We had Man City and Real Madrid in a week. That was for me the trickiest week of the season, and we won both of them games, kept clean sheets. So whatever comes now is sort of not so like tough like them two games were on paper, you know.
No, it's not like there's a Chelsea and an Arsenal mixed into that group, is there?
Nah, but I don't really worry about Chelsea. I don't know, like Chelsea are remember this time last year, Brian, how people were taking the rip out of them. Look how much money you've wasted and this, that, and now they're talking about them as title contenders. For me, they ain't got enough experience in the squad to handle that title charge. So I don't really worry about them. We've already played them once, beat them 2-1. So
yeah, I don't. Nalante, if you're there,
I'm here too.
I'm back. Guillaume Balaguer doesn't speak English as his first language, but
who doesn't?
I like him. I always like Guillaume Balaguer, but when he started going on about my Spanish footy was shite for a while, it just didn't resonate, mate. It was like, fuck off.
I'll show you something even wilder to look at, to tell you the truth. You're seeing our fixtures. These are the last 11 fixtures for Mr. Pep. Did you ever think that you would see City have a run like that?
Never. But I just think it sort of coincides with the 115 charges. I just feel if they're on top of the tree, everyone will be going at them saying, you ain't looking at their charges, this, that, and the other. Now, because they're doing really bad on the pitch, no one's really talking about them.
Yeah.
It's weird, but...
No one's really talking. I think no one's really talking about their charges too much. They're talking about this more so than the charges.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the golden rule. What happens on the pitch will always take 90% of the news, no matter what you do.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what you do. That's football. Like, your team could go out and, I don't know, like invade a foreign country. If you're playing Manchester City the next day or Man United in a cup, that's all people go and talk about. Is like, it just shows you that it'll always be the biggest story, and long may that continue. Like, look at all those red things, and it's not even some of them. It's the Sporting one. It's the Feyenoord one where they were 3-0 up,
Mhm.
It's the Manchester United one when they were 1-0 up with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
The
You know,
game
it's the way they're collapsing and crumbling. It's
It doesn't get any easier. They go to Villa this weekend, and it's Villa at home. I know Villa has been a little bit hit or miss sometimes this year, but Villa is good at home. They're not good. I mean, away form, different story. Home form, another setting
Yeah,
for
tricky.
Villa.
Yeah, tricky.
So it might not. I mean, it could continue. It could be the game that they get back on their feet, but it should be interesting.
It's mad, isn't it? How we're not looking at Arsenal's sort of next fixtures. We're looking at City. How it's like for me, City are the only team I ever sort of worried about.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
when
yeah,
you look
yeah.
at it, like City, how many points are there behind us now? Exactly.
Right.
Is it?
Oh, how many
9
points? I'll tell you. I can tell you this.
Let's joke universal powers of fair play and decency don't allow
They
City.
are 9 points behind us
Yeah,
with a
9
game in
points
hand.
break.
With a game in hand. 9 points.
We've got a game in hand, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
so we
that's
can get
good.
12. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Right. So if we were to get that, once we do get that game, put away against Everton, and let's just say we keep pace, they keep pace with us, it could amount to 12 points being the difference between us.
It's mad. Klopp leaves. It's true, Bernadette. Klopp leaves, and Pep sort of rumbles. It's mad. Do you think?
Yeah,
Pep would
Klopp
have a field
leaves,
day?
and maybe it's Pep just kind of like, ruining the
Put it in
day
third
that
gear.
Klopp was. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm telling you.
ruining the day. It is wild though to see that. You look at those fixtures and you're like, wow, you would not have expected that at all.
but we
Not
beat them 2-0, and nobody talks about it because it was just like whatever.
Walking
It's
Yeah.
the most
yeah.
meh game. No, we beat them 2-0. How often do we beat them 2-0? We don't ever do that, really. And no one talks about that game. Like, that's not going to be when we did one the other. Oh, our best, top 5 victories against Man City. No one's going to be talking about that game.
No.
No one's going to be talking about it because it was just like, whatever. We beat them 2-0 because they're shit.
Yeah.
Non-event of a game. A total non-event of a game.
But I'm happy it happened like that.
I'd take them all day, JK. I'll take
Yeah.
that all day, every day, man. Every season.
Half an hour will get a high priority. We'll see. We'll see. I'll show you another stat that was like you just spoke about. You're just speaking about another team that you don't really focus on as being up 3-1. By the way,
Here comes a 3-3. I said.
yeah, you
Quad is
might
still
get your
on.
I'm telling
3-3.
ya. They're gonna pull it off, aren't they? That'd be
Comes
funny,
time
though.
about to start for Spurs fans. That's the thing about Spurs is that like even up 3-0, they're still like,
Oh,
I
they
don't
know
know.
better. They know better. They know a lot better than to be there 3-0 singing songs. They're like
Yeah,
sing a few
exactly.
songs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're talk about squeaky bum. It's like until 88 minutes. Then they might be like, okay, we got 3. It's 88 minutes. We can't fuck it up from here.
Exactly.
How long left in that game?
I'd say about 25, maybe something like that, ish.
That's funny. That's funny.
63 minutes gone.
So about 30 minutes left. Yeah.
Yeah, so at least a half an hour with
There's enough time.
add-ons.
Oh, there's plenty of time. It's the 64th minute right now.
Yeah,
So they still got at least probably another, 30 minutes at least around now. Yeah, another half hour of gameplay to go. We're gonna try to ride out the last half hour at least. Trying to get an idea as to who not only wins this game, but hopefully get a. Normally they do go right to a actual draw once. Once the game is over.
Spurs final at Wembley. It's not being.
Oh yeah. You asked who scored? Xerxes. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Xerxes.
Yeah,
I have no
he
idea.
Actually gave a little bump to the Tottenham player. Went to go pick up the ball, and he gave him a little like a hip check. Kind of funny.
Nice.
Nice.
I love a bit of needle. You need it in a game.
I was going to bring up this. This is interesting for the gals out there. because it's funny. Igal was all about trying to, talk about how we're going to drop points here and we're going to drop points there. Being Liverpool was going to drop points, and how he spoke about all these different parts and points about how, like, we're going to fall off and everything else. Igal's a funny guy. Maybe it's once you go north of the border here, I guess things get a little weird, but a little strange brew up there maybe. But like this was an interesting situation because there's those people out there that are just still so all about Arteta. This was a stat that was dropped. This was
I don't want fucking Arsenal in the final because of their shit football. I want Spurs so we can have a fucking decent game.
This was a graphic that I wanted to share with you guys and see how you guys felt or what your read of this was. There's those that have been saying, Arteta, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. And it is a process. You do have to trust it. You do have to put faith into something and give it time to develop and the likes. But we're now in year 6. Now, in the last 3 years, Arsenal, after 16 games, this is Arsenal after 16 games, okay? First, in 2022, 2023, they had 40 goals, okay? 252 shots. Their conversion rate was up about 15.9%. Their XG was around 31.53, so close to around 32 XG. You can see how every year their numbers have gotten worse. It's kind of interesting. Now, I know you got to factor in the competition that they're facing. You got to factor in little parts and points about that. But it's sheer about like the fact that like no matter who your competition or that you have to face, you still have to put in some actual measured quality performances. And it seems to be that they are not getting better. They're actually getting worse. Go ahead.
I'm going to have to stop you here because you're being slanderous to Arsenal here. This is shocking. This is shocking, man. This is utterly uncalled for. They have gone up in one of those metrics. They've got up once by 0.1 of a point. So let's give them their actual. They've gone up from 0.122 to 0.123. So credit where
yes, they did go up. Yeah.
So give them some credit. Come on, man. They're not all.
I didn't see that.
That makes a lot of difference.
Come on. At least they get a trophy for that, right? Did they get it? Must get a trophy for that, right? Arteta's chalking that one up on his little fake trophy chalkboard thing. Yeah, he's writing it down on the whiteboard, But the bottom one is crazy though. 8.5 down to 1.3. That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Because I'm assuming that's goals to XG. That means they're 8.5 over their XG in the previous, and that which is high, but that's just shows you got quality finishers. Down to 3.3, which is probably more in line with the average, I would imagine. 8.5 is definitely high. I'm going to put it that way. I'm sure it's definitely. I'm not an optic guy. It big number doesn't always mean what it looks like, but 1.3 from 8.5 is definitely. It shows they're reverting much more to the mean, which also with the XG, the XG per shot, like that's always been. It's been 1.25, 1.22, that's remained stable. But what they've done is they've overperformed in 22-23 massively. They've come closer to the mean there, but still overperforming last year. But now they're dropping right on bang average, and you won't get that. That won't get you anywhere. You've got to go. You've got to be on that 3.3 thing, and it shows you even last year on that 3.3, they still couldn't win it. But that's huge. Those drop-offs are kind of stark, man. They really are. Like 40 to 29, that can be accounted for.
Further into their recent history, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
does it make it that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. to our Spurs, to our friends that we have as Spurs, to our friends that are Spurs, please, 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 just take a deep breath. Understand that your team is your team, but oh my goodness, it is now 3-2 on
Yeah.
absolute.
Told you, bro. Told you.
Oh my god!
I knew it. I had a funny feeling. It wasn't
Oh
Desmond
my
2-2.
goodness!
It was Desmond 3-3.
Oh my goodness!
Spurs fans, you
Wow.
just got to realize, as the kids would say, you're all always going to be Spurs. That is pretty much.
This is about
Oh,
75.
Kevin, there's plenty of time. It's
Yeah,
There is
Spurs, man.
say that
plenty of time. 70th minute.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, when I was a kid, Spurs, because I only say that shit because I'm an old man now, and it's like, oh, this is when I was young and shit, like, and I like fuzzy more, and the world was different. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
and they didn't have electricity or, indoor toilets.
that, didn't it?
Huh.
I still do like them a bit, though. Out of all the London clubs, like, the other ones piss me off more. Chelsea have just on pure form, like, since the club was bought, man, Abramovich bought it. Arsenal never used to really be asked about. It's a punneth. But yeah, back in Spurs, the only one that I like a bit. The other ones, there's other ones, isn't there? Like fucking, like loads of other ones, but they're the three ones, aren't they? Fucking Arsenal, Chelsea, and Spurs from London.
Okay.
Poor West Ham, not even getting a shout. Poor West Ham out there.
I've told you before
They're
about
putting
the
their hand up at the back. They're going, what about us, Lee? What about us?
I told you before, Brian, the myth and legend of FA Cup made West Ham a big name when I was a kid.
Oh, they won the World Cup, don't you
I
know?
think they
They
got
won
there
the
maybe
World Cup.
once and then linked to the quarter. Another one time. But anyway, yeah, they were linked with the cup and they were good when I was a kid. And apparently that's in London, which I didn't know before I fucking knew.
Mm-hmm.
Charlton, that's another one. They were always in the Premier League years ago.
It was Garnacho that scored that goal, if you're wondering. It was kind of wild.
Diallo.
It looked like it was Garnacho, but okay. It was the
By how many celebrities?
Garnacho. When I looked down, I saw Garnacho.
When I say late, I mean in my lifetime, there was Lennox Lewis and Russell Brand all said they're West Ham fans since I knew the world and I heard what people said. So they're the two celebrity fans.
It was. You're right about Diallo.
Is the celebrity
Diallo
of West
Ham. This is a real testament, I mean, Spurs are Spurs, but I mean, like realistically, this is why I would love to see Spurs move on. I would love to see
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hmm.
That all made me laugh.
Okay. Spurs are Spurs, and this is one of the reasons why I'd like to see them move on, have to face Arsenal, and hopefully be able to, get some type of result from Arsenal. By the way, JK almost had his wish right there for 3-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost had your wish for 3-3. Oh my goodness. He's on side. I'm gonna tell you this weekend, considering that the way that I'm watching Spurs play, and the way that their defense looks, we should get a couple of goals. We should get a couple of goals. That could be a really good breakout affair for some of our players looking for goals in the Prem. So,
Brian, have you ever heard of a man called Roddy Dowell? He's Irish and he supports Man United.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds very Roddy Doe. Sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah, sounds vaguely familiar, but yeah.
Fucking hell, man. The things United fans say, they are a weird breed, United fans, sometimes.
Hmm. Um, weird lot. Tell you the truth. 75th minute, still 3-2. They are definitely playing without the swagger and confidence. They're a little shaken by what they're going through. Manchester United are simply Manchester United have just all of a sudden taken on a whole new gear. I don't even know what is going on. We do score a lot of goals in the last 15. We score a lot of goals in the second half. You're right, Kevin. You are correct about that. I'm hoping, Chill Guy, you're right about that. I think it'll be a really good time for our forwards to get, to be able to take some runs. I'm not looking for the whole like control possession. I just say, hey, you know what, like give a couple of through balls from what Manchester United's doing. Basically, just copy their playbook. A lot of their pieces aren't on hustle pieces; they're just on purely putting on pressure, keeping them on their back foot, and trying to measure themselves with getting some type of results.
A big pitch, over the top, diving onto it. Simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the big play appears to be allow Tottenham to go 2-0 up, and then wait for them to throw it away. Pretty much, that seems to be allow them to go all Tottenham about it, and sit there, go on, have a couple of goals, go on, off you go. Yeah, you score a couple there. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. 3-0 down at halftime. Yeah, don't worry. We know this. We know what's going to happen. So go on, get your few. Yeah, you're 3-0 up now. Okay, now go have a collapse.
Yeah.
Now go and completely lose it, and we'll just bring it back to 4-3.
Maybe they're all about family style. They're all about like, they're just like, okay, we've had our fill now. Hey.
The problem is, 12 man. The problem is with these guys. They're kind of like I don't know. Maybe I'm not great on boxing, but like a Deontay Wilder. They just go in swinging. They just go in swinging.
Yeah. There you go. I like
swinging
that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah. Okay. That makes okay. I was thinking. Yeah. So, but if you just wait, just wait, and he'll have a few things, and then you can just go pop. And you'll just knock. They're just wild, man. They're just wild. They're just gonna go. They're gonna do their thing. They've got.
Because you would have thought 3-2 would have been a knockout punch. You would have thought that would have been enough.
They just can't lock it down. He's still there. I guarantee you, at 3-0, Ange's still going. You need to get forward, lads. You need to get forward. He's telling the centre halves to keep underlapping and keep making ghost runs and keep doing whatever the hell they do. High line on the halfway line, all of that. But I just think they have Kulusevski, Son, Solanke, even Timo Werner. People, if you create and create and create, they will score goals. So it's like, how do you deal with that bit?
Mm-hmm.
And then exploit their weaknesses. It's just they are. It's like if you're not ready for Deontay Wilder and he comes in swinging like that, he is going to knock you out.
Yeah,
because he's just throwing big, massive punches all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But so if you're not ready for it, it's how you deal with it. They're a pain in the hole of a team to play. It's like, but even if you're 2-0 down, you got 20 minutes left. You're probably watching the previous and going, Arne Slot will have trying. It'll be kind of like we're talking. I think this is a great matchup because we talked about it a while ago. The whole Dr. Sleep thing, the whole trying to create that control in a game. Like, this is Slot's worst nightmare. A guy who just doesn't give a shit. A guy who couldn't give a crap about defending set pieces or practicing corners and just gets everybody forward. Slot is just like, you're not used to people who don't want to play the game. Normally people play the game and they have tactics. Ange's just like, nah, man, you've only got one life to live, so just go for it. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare, I think, to think, what is this guy going to do?
I just like the idea of us and Spurs in the final.
Yeah.
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 Excellent.
Yeah. We do have someone that is looking to join the conversation. Someone that is a new father. So I know he's probably got the baby monitor next to him or something like that, maybe, but we'll see. We're gonna bring in Max into the conversation. Here we go. How you doing, Max?
Hello, everyone. How are
Hello.
you?
Hi, Max.
Yes.
Bless, man.
Hello to everyone. Right. Yes, I am a newly father again. So it's all
That's good.
brand
That's
new
good,
to
man.
me again.
Congratulations.
I never learn. It's all brand new to me again.
Oh, okay.
The crying
Yeah.
baby. I thought I forgot about it, but I haven't. It's all
There you go.
beginning.
Little
And
Khadija, right? Little Khadija. Max, right?
Khadija. Oh, thank you. You remembered
Yeah.
Khadija.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blessings,
No,
though. Blessings to you and
congratulations,
to
yeah.
your wife. Definitely.
I didn't have
Yes, of
much
course.
time to come on. Not been on YouTube, not been watching things, a lot of crying baby time. So it's been hectic. It's been hectic, but it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not missed no games. I have not missed no game. And I'm watching this hectic match right now with Spurs and Man United. It could be 3-3, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we're just waiting for it, Max. We're waiting for the inevitable ping. You know, the notification on 12 man's phone going ping.
But
The
there's a
betting app is
secret
like,
to it, Brian. There's a secret to it. Imagine
What is-
if we didn't have Van Dijk or Konate for a month, what would happen?
interesting
What would
things.
happen? Because they've not had VDG
No Romero Van de Ven tonight.
and
Yeah, no
yes,
Romero Van de Ven
for a
tonight.
month, and they've won a game, they've lost a game. They've won a game, they've lost a game. That's their secret. Without them, they're not as good. But I think
Oh, their
once
whole
they're back,
team, their whole back line is built around Van de Ven's pace.
yeah,
The guy's the quickest. He's literally the quickest player in the Premier League. Not the quickest
going
defender.
forward,
he's literally
they're
outside
very
his top
good.
speed.
They're very good.
Yeah, you can play a high line if you got a guy who can basically go toe to toe with Olympic sprinters for like 90% of the race.
Yeah,
That's how quick that guy is.
When I was a child, it was one of my greatest gifts.
Swifty Lee.
Swifty Lee.
Swiftly.
There you
Swiftly.
Down to the shop and back in 2
That's the
minutes.
name. That was the headline on the Echo.
Won the skins every year.
That's a top headline. Swiftly.
It is. It is. There's a question for the panel. I see it here. It says, how can Endo get more minutes on the pitch from now on? How could or should Slot use him?
Play like he did yesterday. Show
yeah.
the manager what he can do. Like for me, yesterday was Endo showing the manager, you know what, you can use me for the rest of the season. Look how I play. Like really, Slot hasn't really seen him play a full match like yesterday. You know, he had a few sub appearances. That's about it. So fair play to Endo. And it also saves the owners a bit of money, maybe, to sign a midfielder in the January window. So it's good timing, you know.
Is that where you think we need to go? Is the midfield? That's what you're saying? You think we need?
I'm just saying, like, because with Gravenberch, you know, like for me, Gravenberch has probably been our best player this season. Just to have him not available for a while won't be a good thing. I just feel like another player in there who could probably do a job as good as Gravenberch would be a blessing in disguise.
I think he needs the rest.
Yeah, he needs a rest.
We can't play him the whole season, even though we would love to play him the whole season. I think Endo can play a few matches. Just give him a few. Play Gravenberch two tough games, one easy game. Put Endo in there. He can do the job. I trust in him. He can do the job. We saw what he did last year. He didn't let us down. Yes, he's a £15 million player, but he actually played like a £40 million player. But we're all turning our back on him. Can he do it against a big team? We're not sure. But I reckon he can hold it tight against the lower half of the league.
Yeah. I was watching the replays in the back of by the way, both goals have been because of the goalkeeper, by the way. Basically. Fraser, yeah.
Fraser, he's a big donkey anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been going on for years, isn't he? He's just big. Yeah.
He
Okay,
is
just-
very big. He's about 6'7", I think. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
He used to be
the
good
giant.
at Southampton back in the day. He used to be
He was
good.
good
I
at
thought.
Celtic. He was good at Celtic, and that's his level. You know, that's like, you know, that he basically built for that kind of football. He, you know, and then you get to play European football and shit like that. But yeah, he's old school. You know, not the quickest and shit.
Kevin thinks it's more Edward's call as to what we go for. I think so.
But I just to answer the question, if you want, I can give my opinion on the question,
Okay.
or if you want.
Yeah,
just
that's
how
what the
can
show's
he get
about.
more minutes?
So, yeah,
no,
do
just I wasn't sure if you were moving on or
No.
yeah.
We only got about 5 minutes, 6 or it's now the 86th minute in this game, so probably like 4 or 5 minutes. They'll put extra time into this game, so at least 5 more minutes for this game to go final.
No, yeah, I think the only way he can get more minutes is by us progressing in the League Cup, because Slot has shown basically he gets 100% of the minutes in the League Cup. Then you got to be ready if I think if Gravenberch is fit, I don't see why he can't play every Premier League game. You know, that would be brilliant if like we somehow managed to get that out of him. So you're kind of banking on it not happening to another degree. But he's just going to have to be there and be ready. Maybe some minutes in the Champions League in some of these games coming up. But I think we know his if Mac, Endo, or Mac, Grav, Dom, Jones, these boys are all fit and ready, he's probably going to struggle to get Premier League minutes. Yeah, but he will. He's one of those guys. I think Slot will do what Klopp did. He will
Right.
stick by players. So Endo, even if we get to the final of the League Cup, Endo will start. Even if everybody's fit, if Grav is fit, Endo will start. I think he'll be loyal to them that way, you know, and in the same way with Kelleher and some people like that. So
There you go. There you
3-3.
go, Sonny.
Oh,
Sonny.
it's 4-2.
Sonny. Let me just say this to the butcher. I'm sorry. To the vegan butcher. That one was for you. That one was for you. And the reason why I'm saying this for you is because Son was trying to chase down the ball. Euro came in, gave a good slide tackle, knocked the ball out, but took him off of his feet. Okay. Son is walking towards, just got back off his feet. It was a nice, I would say nasty little tackle, but it was
goal. What a goal.
Yeah. He did get his legs taken out, right? And Son is now like on his feet. He's walking towards taking the corner kick. Okay. As he's walking towards taking the corner kick, the vegan butcher runs over and says, hurry up. He's all in his ear, telling him, like, what are you doing? Like, he's just like, and Son just looks at him, Son's very polite and and nice. He's just like, okay. Walks over.
Are we now gonna say Son is world class?
Whoever said he wasn't?
A lot of fans out there believe Son isn't world class when he's performed for the last 8 years at a high level, only below Salah and Mane. But a lot of people don't say he's world class. Scoring that type of goal is world class. Full stop.
Yeah. There could have been some there on VAR. They might have brought that in. They might have asked the referee to take a look at it. Maybe I will admit that.
Oh no,
because there was
the
referee. The goalie's trying to say there's goaltender interference or goalkeeper interference, but
I have to look at it again.
Yeah, I just trying to put it out there, but it's maybe now with 1 minute left in regulation time here. Maybe now Spurs can breathe a little bit easier.
Maybe they can celebrate a tiny wee bit.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
a
a little
little.
Maybe a little bit.
It's 4-3
Don't
now.
go.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't
you're right.
go
Yeah,
for the
right.
bus just yet. Don't be going for that. Yeah, don't be going for that last point just yet. But Sonny, yeah, I mean, probably the perfect Klopp player if we hadn't signed Mane. You imagine Sonny at 27 in that Klopp team, probably one of the closest in the left wing position. Probably, him, Son, Firmino, and Salah, Mane, Firmino, and Salah. I think we may have had similar enough results because just we were talking about XG earlier on, and obviously XG is basically what the average footballer what would happen if literally the average footballer had that chance. So clearly, good footballers should outperform XG, but Son, I think in 8 years now, Son has like outperformed his XG in the Premier League by like 5 to 7 almost every year. Like it just shows that guy is clinical. He's absolutely clinical. Like he always has been. Still 33 now, but yeah, he's going to have a big summer. I know it'll be interesting where he goes. Who takes a chance? Does an English club take a chance? Does he go for a big contract somewhere? Probably doesn't do the Saudi thing. Who knows? But yeah, I think he could do a job for someone for another year. Stays fit.
Yeah, you know what? I would go as far as to say that Son is such a iconic player for them. Son is such an iconic player for Spurs that he's in a very similar position as Mo Salah with this team, as in Son is certainly
100%. Yeah.
Like he's coming into like the twilight of his career with the years, but yet just a pure love from the fan base, the amount of support and everything else that goes with him, the backlash that would go if you allowed for Son to maybe go and become a Red Devil on a free or
he's definitely there, Salah. Yeah, he's definitely there.
that would be tough. That would definitely be tough.
Yeah, no, it is spot on. Pretty much
He'll
winger, record goal scorer.
He'll go that way. I think
going
he's a
on
bit more
free.
loyal. I think he stayed there with them for 8 years.
Oh,
A
absolutely,
lot of teams have
absolutely.
asked
I'm not
for 3
saying
years,
I'm not saying he wants to do that, but isn't it
Levy's
on?
too
It's
cheap.
certainly
Levy's too
He might go
cheap.
Europe. He might go Europe.
Exactly.
Not
Levy will offer him like $100 grand a week.
Wait, hold on. Go ahead, Max. Go ahead. Or
there ain't
I
no
think Brian's
project at
gonna
Man
be-
United.
What are you saying, Max?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Max. Go ahead, man.
There ain't no project at Man United. I think a lot of big players see the problems at Man United. Where Man United have got some big names like Rashford and Bruno Fernandes, but the club actually has failed them. The club is very toxic towards players. The club has whether you say it's the ambition, it's not like when Ferguson was there, you had belief that Man United was going to get something. Now, since the last 10 years of Mourinho, Ole, Ten Hag, the team has got no structure. And I think a lot of players that play for other teams, regarding players like Son, etc., I think they know want to go Man United. I reckon the young kids might, but not the big players. They haven't got that pulling power for the big players anymore, I don't think.
Exactly.
Unless Amorim changes things, but we have to still see it.
Oh, by the way,
I'm not seeing no difference with Amorim. I'm not.
By the way, JK's in the future. It is 4-3.
Is it?
You don't mess on. Seriously, guys.
Let's see this. What's
You
that?
know what we're dealing with here. We know we're dealing with Tottenham. Okay, until the final.
Yeah, 94 minutes.
Oh my goodness, people! Just
how
enjoy this
many-
ride here. There's
many,
6 minutes that they're going to put on
okay.
6 minutes that they're going to add
Oh
on to
my
the
God.
pot.
Foster just flapped it through his hands.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh my
Aye.
goodness.
Evans.
There's just DNA and there's DNA, right?
Yeah.
This
Exactly,
is
Kevin.
football DNA. This is football DNA right here. Tottenham.
You could see a 2-minute finish.
Yeah.
Well, they scored, so I reckon they'll get 97 minutes, maybe. I think I did. Yeah, I think I had 4-2. I think was my prediction. 4-2 to Tottenham was my prediction. I think. Yeah, it had high
Had a
scoring
3-1.
madness.
Yeah, he did.
It had
Yeah.
madness written all over it. It just
Yeah,
had
it did.
madness written all over it.
The neutral is good. It's good.
Jeez.
You know what? I want to see us attack Spurs straight away.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Are they going to be back? Sorry, Jay. Are the boys back for that game? Romero and Van de Ven.
I don't think so.
No,
I think they're still injured, bro.
I think they've played a few minutes on training, but that's about it.
What's that?
Whether they'll get full game or not, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, because they were rushed sort of back a few weeks ago. They got re-injured and went back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruno Fernandes talking his mess on the pitch. He is an interesting. There is easily an arguable difference in captains when it comes to watching Bruno wear an armband, and so let's say obviously a Virgil van Dijk. You know, there's absolutely a incredible
No comparison.
difference.
No
Yeah.
comparison.
Big time.
But as a player, what do you lot think of Bruno Fernandes? Because I love him.
I liked him when he was at his Portugal team. And then when he went to United, I didn't like him no more. I even said less. I tell you the truth, I reckon he would have been a better option than Szoboszlai. That's how I see it. You know, I think he's a good little player. Wrong team for him. Chose the wrong team. Big mistake by him.
We were actually in. We were at one point. We were in for him too. He was.
Yeah.
He was a possible addition to Liverpool.
He was. You know, and United probably offered him more wages. Bang, he went there. His own fault at the end of the day, you know. So as a captain, he's going to be shouting and crying most of the time because why? His team's rubbish. Virgil, top team, top players around him. He didn't have to shout or cry about nothing.
This game has definitely been all over the place. It is another yellow card that just went down because
his IQ.
Wasting. What's that? Go ahead, Max.
I think he's got a very high IQ, Bruno, and I think he's got a higher IQ. I think he's got a higher IQ than everyone in our team. Game intelligence in the final third. He sees things faster than everyone else.
He's a Virgo, that's why.
Yeah.
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 But I don't like his lazy attitude.
But in a winning team, he's going to be a good player. I think put him in the Man City team, he'd be top.
Would have been top in our team, I think.
Yeah, ours also is. I think even Bayern Munich, someone like that. He's a good little player. Wrong team, wrong choice. Went for the money, and he has to pay for that now. You know. All right, is it full time then? Yeah.
It's over.
Full time.
It's over.
It is over.
Full time. Okay.
What a game!
So who do we play now? Newcastle or Spurs or Arsenal?
I'd rather take Newcastle.
I want Newcastle in the final. I want Newcastle in the final. I want Eddie.
I want Spurs, Arsenal in the semi-final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I want them. Eddie.
I did yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I wanted Arsenal and Man United, like the two teams I wanted. Now thinking about it, I'm thinking, do we need that drama? We were talking about it yesterday. So for me, Tottenham, Newcastle, either way.
Okay.
I want that drama.
Yeah,
I like it as well, though. That's the thing. I like that drama.
I am so sick of Arsenal. I want 2 games to them. I want something 5-1 or something
in a way
like that.
as well, yeah. I'm into
I'm
that
sick
as
of
well.
Arsenal.
That's what it
Sick
is.
of them.
Sick of them, bro.
The fan base is so toxic,
I think it's
and
the
I've
worst
seen
in the world.
it's not
I
just
think
the worst in the world.
The worst
I've
what?
seen how they hate Liverpool.
slowly, it's been brewing for a long time now.
They
Slowly,
actually
it's
come
what?
out.
think.
It's the worst what in the world? Sorry.
Mhm.
Fan base.
I think they actually hate
Oh, the
Liverpool.
Arsenal fan base. Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah,
That's pretty strong.
horrible. Yeah, them and United, bro. Horrible.
they actually think that they're bigger than us.
That's funny though. That's just funny though. Like I don't get offended by that. I just literally find that fucking hilarious. You know, they had 5 minutes under Wenger when they challenged Fergie. They got 3 league titles. That was, you know, people have been born and grown up since that happened. You know, and they act like they're bigger than us. I just find that so funny.
It's because, Brian, it's because they keep mentioning that we've won 1 Premier League and they've won 3. We haven't
Well,
won
you
1
can't-
Premier League. We've won
can't be
19.
dealing with people like that.
But that
Can't be
doesn't
dealing with them.
actually add up to them.
Can't be dealing with those idiots, man. Because then they only won 3 league titles. So when you ask them, like if you ask them how many league titles have you won as an Arsenal fan, they'll tell you how many league titles they've won. But you can
But
then
they
turn and say,
think
no, you've only won 3. You've only won 3.
they think the football started on the Premier League era. When football started
Unless
in
they're
the 18th
talking about
century,
their team.
19th
Yeah, but when you
century.
go to the Arsenal stadium and you see all the, you know, their trophy cabinet, their trophy wall, like, do you think they only have Premier League trophies in there? Are these guys that fucking stupid? You know, that when you go on
Apparently,
your
our
hiding tours,
Champions Leagues don't matter. Apparently,
I'm assuming they won a league before the Premier League started, right? Arsenal. I'm sure that happened.
Yeah.
There was one pretty famous.
89,
Right?
89.
Yeah, there was one pretty famous one that they talk about all the time. So does that not count because it wasn't a Premier League? You know, that argument is just the most easily destroyed thing in the planet. Go to your own club's trophy cabinet, do your own tour, and tell me if the only thing they have there is Premier League trophies. Because if it is, then cool. Your club only counts Premier League trophies. Cool. Weird, but okay. Everybody counts all their leagues when they tell you how
It's
many
one
league
thing.
titles.
It's one thing.
It's a league. We have won X amount of leagues that, oh, no. Yeah, come
How
on,
many
man.
times has the Carabao Cup, well, it's a League Cup, how many times has that been changed name? We call it Carling Cup, the Carabao Cup, Worthington Cup, Littlewoods Cup. Throughout time, it's been changing. It's still one trophy.
Milk Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still
Oh, the
one
Coca-Cola
It's the
Cup,
League
the
Cup.
Milk
It's
Cup,
called the League
the
Cup.
Little
Milk Cup.
Woods.
I just call it the League Cup. I just call it the
Little
League Cup.
Woods.
That's the easiest thing for me to do is just call it the League
Cup.
Cup.
Tea
So,
Cup.
yeah.
Yeah. Milk Cup is like, if you're from the 80s, you still call it Milk Cup, but it's changed so many times. A lot of people call it the Carling Cup because that was 90s. So people go on the 90s, 2005, they call it the Carling Cup. But they tried the Carabao Cup. No one liked that. No one likes Carabao. But yeah, man, look, I think we are where we are in this now. This is what we do. You can't ignore this now as a trophy. Like we mentioned earlier on, Pep Guardiola, and I think it was very kind of, you know, Pep Guardiola, he always talked about how he loved this cup because it gave your team a winning sensation, a winning feeling in February. He loved it because of how early it
winning
was in the
mentality.
season. Yeah, because it showed it. But he said the main thing about it was like you could win a competition in England. He says, I love this. You can win this thing in England, and there's still like 10 league games left. But you've got a squad that has already gone through like the emotions of winning a final. He said it's absolutely brilliant. That's amazing for squad mentality. It's brilliant for, you know, the mentality of the team to go, we've already won a trophy. He said people in England got this shit the wrong way around. They think it's a distraction. It's not. He said, and that's why if you look at Guardiola through the years, look at how many League Cups they've won. He played strong teams all through the League Cup. He would play basically like 80 to 90% of his first team. He played De Bruyne, he'd play all the Silvas, because he knew, he said the value of winning a trophy to a bunch of players is huge, regardless if it's a League Cup or an FA Cup. And to be able to do that in early season and still have 10 games, he said that's an amazing thing you can do in England. And people in England have got it wrong, thinking that it's a distraction. He hit the nail on the head with that one. Players like winning shit.
Well, we are gonna wait for hopefully them to do the picks for the next matchups in this League Cup. Normally, like I said, they normally do it afterwards.
They're going to
Mr.
do
Tarmizi. Mr. Tarmizi.
Oh, M. Tarmizi
Long
in the
time,
house.
man. Long time.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're running a marathon around Sumatra or something, just like that's the kind of thing you do, but for Christmas.
Yeah,
or
drop the
something.
link again for M. Tarmizi if you want to chime in.
Absolutely. M. Tarmizi, if you are available, man, we would love even just for a minute. I'm gonna drop the link in there now. Hang on. And that's for everybody else as well. It's a call in tonight. Anybody wants to come in, but spend some extra time. But Tarmizi, as we know, I'm assuming he's busy. He's halfway through a marathon, Ironman, or some triathlon shit or something. He never stops.
Yeah.
So, are we going to do the draw? Are they doing the draw now? Like,
that's in about 35 minutes. The draw.
Oh, okay. Okay.
About half past.
So, what's your preferred? Like, what do you take, Max? If you could say you want X team in the semis and hopefully get someone else in the final, so what would be your dream draw there?
I would love to have Newcastle or Tottenham in the final because I know they'll just bottle it in the final. It's a one game, and we know how to win. Our players have won trophies, and that's everyone in our team. Even the young kids have won trophies at Liverpool, like the FA Cup, Carabao Cup. They've won trophies. They know how to win.
Gallagher's
Tottenham and Newcastle. I think Newcastle won was it the FA Cup a couple of years ago? They won versus Man United. Carabao. Or did they lose both?
Nope. It's been a while since Newcastle won a trophy.
Newcastle have won, have they? They played Man United, they lost, didn't they? Yes. I think they'll bottle it. I want Arsenal in the semis because home and away, I think they've got no chance against us. Overall, in 2 games, I think they've got no chance. If it was just that one-off game at the Emirates, it's 50-50. But because we got they have to come back at Anfield or play at Anfield, that's where they're going to bottle it. The game will be over before the game started. It's time to shut them up. It's time they know who they are. And they are not.
Leveler, isn't it?
And I'm going to say it straight now. No one's ever said it. They're not the third best team in the country. As in, like, the third best of all time. They're not. I think Chelsea surpassed them as soon as they won the Champions League. I think Man City have surpassed them as soon as they won the Champions League as well. Because the overall trophy, for me, the Champions League is like 10 Premier Leagues. That's how I rate it. I don't think it's equivalent as one each. Because it's so hard for a team to win a Champions League. You have to be on ball throughout the whole competition. It's like playing final after final after final. Once you get past the knockout stages. And they've never done it. They've not sat at the big round table in Europe.
Nope. That's the funniest thing.
Chelsea has done it twice in the last Premier League era.
Chelsea showed them how to do it. Do you remember when they used to crow about it all the time? They invented the 4th place trophy. Do you remember, Max?
Yeah.
When Arsenal invented the 4th place trophy. And like we were finishing 5th and 6th, and Arsenal was like, oh, no, we don't spend because we're building a new ground. And when we build our new ground, we'll have no debt and then we can spend. But we're finishing 4th, and that's the most important, is being in the Champions League every year.
They were happy to get 4th.
They were content with that. They thought that was the best. They were brainwashed into thinking that was the best that they could do. And we were like, yeah, that's kind of cool and everything. But like, you literally don't even get out of the group stages most times. Like the last time anyone can remember a famous Arsenal Champions League match is when? Never. That time you got beat by Barcelona. That's pretty much
Barcelona.
it. And then they'd be looking at us
About it.
going, "Oh yeah, but you haven't been in Champions League for 3 years." Yeah, but guess what? You know that one time we do get into the Champions League, we only go and
We are
fucking
fifth.
win it. We only go and win it. You know, we finished fifth. We got in the
Or at
Champions
least reach
League.
the final.
We had to
At
win.
least reach the final. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do when we're like, yeah, you've been in for 10 years in row, lads, but you've never
But-
made an impression. We get in it
But
twice.
guys,
We got 2 finals
we
and we only
get
won.
5th place. We don't brag about it. We don't want 5th. We don't want 4th. We want only 1st. Nothing else is in our head. We don't think 2nd is a trophy. It's just this is the way cowards think. We're bigger than that. All or nothing. The
6
mentality
years
of Liverpool
failure
and
on
Arsenal is
Arteta.
completely different teams. Completely
6
different
years,
teams.
6 years under Arteta, Max. 6 years, and what have they achieved under Arteta? What have they achieved?
Nothing.
6 years and about 600 million. Apparently, I think it's about
800.
640,
800.
800 million.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's probably in, and then you got some out. But I mean, the guys had well over $500 million spent on players. 6 years, nearly 5. You know, I mean, most
He's
teams.
had
It's like,
more money than Arsene Wenger did. Arsene Wenger had to
yeah,
not spend that much money because they were rebuilding the stadium. They had the rebuild of the stadium to think about, and they had their big players, Van Persie, Sanchez, being stolen by Man United, while this team had been given funds and they bought in trash. Havertz is not Van Persie. Declan Rice is not the Vieira.
Yeah.
He's not. They're not.
Yeah, but he's good.
They're
He's
not
a
the
good
players.
player.
I don't rate him. I don't rate him.
Probably the price. If he cost 20 million, you'd be like, yeah, he's all right. He is.
yeah,
But,
exactly.
40
100
million
yeah,
tops.
exactly.
40 million
quid.
tops.
40 million
Yeah,
tops. No, 50.
exactly.
I'll go 50 with him. Like 100
Into even
million.
today's market, even today's market, you're thinking 50 JK, but 100, right, man?
That's mad.
Too
He's a
negative.
good player, don't get me wrong, but
Too negative to be £100 million player. Too negative. He's a negative Nelly. I've been watching I've not missed Arsenal game, so I know the guy's negative Nelly. And if we had him, we would be crying. Because the guy just passes back, always safe to Gabriel or Saliba. He plays it safe. That's why when you see him, his passing stats are always complete because he's playing it safe.
Right, I'll ask you a question. And 12 minutes dropped out. He didn't ask me to take over. I'm sure he'll be back in a second. But we're running over time, but we always run over time, right? That's not a thing, right? So I'll ask you, Max, JK. We lost Lee. Yeah, it's just you two boys. Is this more? I think the 100 million for Declan Rice is a great example. Is this because of a change in the position in terms of now everybody needs a DM, has to be DM, or is it to do with the quality of these players in terms of how all of a sudden people have realized how good they are? If that question makes sense. Does Declan Rice now cost 100 million instead of say 40 million because now everybody is obsessed with having a DM rather than somewhere or is it because these players are actually that good?
True what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, sorry, it does make it's not stupid. Yeah, you can understand what I'm getting. Yeah.
I don't agree.
Now it makes sense in that way where Declan Rice is he a DM? He like Rodri set the market. Like you need a Rodri in your team, so everyone's sort of fighting over which guy plays that position and who's a DM. Declan Rice is the nearest guy for Arsenal or a big club to go after, and he sort of fits that role. Is he as good as Rodri? Nowhere near, but he's a good little player. Declan Rice. I wouldn't say he's a bad player. Is he worth 100 million? No.
Yeah, no, I just wonder, has no, I just it's not about Max. I'm just wondering, is it because the people have reevaluated the position of DM
No.
and realizing now that, or is it because these
I
players are
think it
so
was
good?
the Premiership commentators on the BBC, ITV, Match of the Day, etc. They threw the word Declan Rice for 2 years in a row when he was playing for West Ham, just for the hell of it, to big his name up. They wanted that sale for him to go to a big club. And I kept on watching them bringing his name up when he was doing Jack All. He was doing Jack All, and they were just over exaggerating everything he was saying for him to get that sale, for him to get that move, for him to get to the England team. And this is when Henderson was playing for England, Liverpool Henderson. They wanted a replacement for Henderson because they knew Henderson's getting old, and they wanted someone to have that English name playing for West Ham to move to a bigger team, which was the downfall of Arsenal. They fell for that trap where the pundits were bigging his name up so much they thought he's God's gift. When I always saw it, the guy's negative Nelly. He's a cross between David Batty and Nicky Butt. Nothing more, nothing less. They were decent players, better than him, but they weren't top tier.
Max, are you basically saying this is a good old-fashioned English tax?
It's English tax, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
He hasn't got the talent to do what McAllister does. He hasn't got the attributes what Gravenberch does. He hasn't got the attributes what Curtis Jones does. He hasn't got the pace. He's got power. He can't twist and turn. He hasn't got the skills. Now, people put, oh, he's got a few stats on corners. I'm sorry. A lot of players nowadays, and if you look in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, by taking a corner, you didn't get an assist at that time. The rules have changed now. When you take a corner and someone scores now, it's an assist. It's a fake stat. It's a real stat on paper. But taking a corner was not a stat back in the day. It wasn't an assist. It's changed now, so it makes them look good. They're not real. It's not a real assist. Well, it should be an assist. A needle pass through a haystack. It's not like that. It's a corner. And apart from that, he don't score free kicks. He takes 100 of them, but he don't score free kicks. He scores a few goals. He hasn't got nothing in his game. He hasn't got that.
So if he's a Hungarian player, if he's Finnish, if he's Polish,
no one will be talking about him.
No one would be talking about him. He'd be playing for a club, but he wouldn't be costing 100 million.
Problem is, Arsenal fans are saying that Roy Keane is nothing to him.
Yeah, but now you have to go out there to
is nothing to him. And I remember watching Roy Keane. Phenomenal footballer. Phenomenal. Even though we hate Man United, let's say the truth. Roy Keane was a beast.
Oh, you don't need to tell man, I'm an Arsenal fan. You don't need to tell me how good he was.
Arsenal fans don't rate Roy Keane, but they rate Declan Rice.
Because they never watch it. Jesus Christ. I mean, Roy Keane. I can tell.
Vieira, Roy Keane, equal. I actually would say Roy Keane's better.
Paul Scholes, David Beckham. Paul Scholes, by the way. Paul Scholes, David Beckham. I think
let's give you a buck. They were good.
All of those players have said that Roy Keane is the best passer of the ball they've ever played with. Not the best hard man, not the most, outrageous.
One hell of a captain. One hell of a captain.
Yeah, but he could pass the ball. They said Roy Keane was one of the best passers of all, and these are people who played with some of the best players of all time. Scholes said Keane was the best passer of all we've ever seen.
Rating Declan Rice on that level. That's the shameful thing. That's the shameful thing. I don't think he's better than Partey or Jorginho.
No. Max, if you're rating Declan Rice above Roy Keane, you've either A, never watched Declan Rice, or B, never watched Roy Keane. It's only one.
Correct.
There's only one of those two options, basically. That's the only, because you've just never watched Roy Keane. If you're saying that, you couldn't. Like even Declan Rice would say, "Shut up! I'm not better than Roy Keane. Stop being ridiculous." Declan Rice would say that. So it's. But they go out and spend 100 million, so they have to go and back him, don't they? They have to go and back the player. But I think I like. Would you play? Let me see. What we doing? Right? Do we go strong now, or do we do
100%
do
strong.
we do what I was saying? Keep with Endo, keep Kelleher, or do we go strong now?
Strong. Semi-finals,
JK,
finals. Strong.
yeah.
Who's our
Chat, let
midfield
me know
trio?
what you think. Chat, let me know
Who's
what
our
you think.
midfield
Come on.
trio?
Yeah, let us know what you think now, chat. Come on, we're gonna try and
What's the
keep this
prize
going.
for everyone?
Semi-finals. Are we going strong? Are we saying to Keller, you're still in? Endo, you're still in. Elliot, you're still in. Or do we go Dom? Do we go the full crew, the wrecking crew, or do we still mix it up a little bit?
I've got a few
What?
surprises.
Because we got some players right on the borderline. Someone said back there, there's a few players looking at it. Yellow cards and stuff. We got a lot of games coming up, but we looked through the list, didn't we, Max? We looked through the list earlier on. It's not the most, West Ham, Ipswich, Wolves, Man United at home, lots of games, but not too many big ones, not too many tough
After the
ones.
Spurs one this week
Yeah,
coming up, it's all easy.
it's decent. It's decent. I mean, it's
What's
Man U, but
wrong?
that's at home. And then until we get to we've got them Bournemouth away. That's a much tougher game than it used to be. Great manager getting a great tune out of a really good squad of players, and it's away at their ground. That might be one of our tougher games. We've also got Nottingham Forest away, which they gave us a bit of a
One
lesson
hell of
there.
a game.
Yeah. So revenge is on the cards, but it's at their ground. They just got beaten recently 3-0 by City, so they can
But
be
they're not going to
vulnerable.
be scared of us.
No, but they can be vulnerable,
They
and we
beat
should be
us, so
scared
they're
of
not
them.
going to be scared. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But so I think it's you keep the right players fit. This should be kind of doable, to get through these games, to get through what should be
Rotation is
you know,
key.
yeah, yeah. The classic kind of hectic Christmas period, as I say. We've
Who
got
would you
Leicester.
go for in the semi-final then with against Arsenal? Say if it's Arsenal, who's our midfield trio?
If we have to play Arsenal in a semi, I would have Grav, Mac, and Jones. I'd have Jones in there. I'd be unfortunately it'd be a big call to keep Endo in over them because I think they would be going big time. Maybe they'd be trying to win it. So it's tough now. We don't know how committed to rotation he is because this is a League Cup. He's never done a League Cup thing. He's done leagues and he's done their version of the FA Cup, but we don't quite know. Like I said earlier on during the stream, I expect him to go with the old Klopp way of doing it. Of going, nope, Endo, Kelleher, you've always started, so you're always going to start, kind of thing. Gomez the same, make Gomez captain in it. So even if it was Arsenal, maybe, yeah, I
So
know that's a big manager call.
you would
Yeah,
say that's our strongest three in the midfield.
no, I just think if he was going to be loyal to the team that got them to the semi, he would go Endo, Mac, and one from Dom Elliott Jones.
But who would you play? Not Slot. Who will you play?
Yeah. It's a bastard. I know because I'm trying to toe the line on what he should do and what he's saying, but I would play Grav. Yeah. I'd play Grav, I'd play McAllister, and I would play Sabazai.
Okay, why I ask that is my surprise is going to hurt a lot of people. Now, Last year, our best midfielder was McAllister by far. This year, he's been poor. Consistently poor. He's been... There's not
Really?
been a game where he's been above 5 out of 10.
Oh,
A few
I mean,
games he's been...
Max.
It's gonna hurt.
Sorry.
And everyone's
Okay.
gonna hate me. Everyone's gonna hate me.
Stinging already, man. It's stinging
I know,
already.
but remember what I'm gonna say. I love the guy, but I'm gonna say what I saw. A few times I saw him eating grass, and he got 2 out of 10 on Coppish. Quite a few games he's got low scores. He's never got above a 5 this season
All
on
comps.
Coppish. He's never had a good performance. So now what I'm trying to say is, us fans have said that Robertson has fallen off. Darwin Núñez has fallen off. We want Endo sold. Did we or did we not see yesterday Endo got man of the match? Did we or did we not see Robertson got man of the match versus Girona? Did we or did we not see Darwin have a superb game in the weekend? Not this game, the weekend versus who was it? Fulham with 10 men. A few games, these players have got 8 and 9. Robertson has had a few games he was really good, but the rest he was really bad. McAllister's been walking on thin ice the whole season. Szoboszlai has been the scapegoat all season by playing poor, but a few games he's been absolutely awesome. But no one's talking about it. McAllister has been on thin ice, but no one has seen it.
You haven't been watching the show. You haven't been watching the show, I guess, because that is definitely I definitely been doing the whole Dom. You can ask the panel; they know I did it. We were going to do a whole segment on it. We did do a whole segment on it actually. Dom is important because of other reasons that people don't recognize. It's so often when you get into a conversation, not to cut across you, I was going to say real quick. When you get into conversation sometimes with people, I understand their perspectives, as in they'll say the eye test and all these other things and the likes, but like a lot of times we're not. Sometimes the match day going fan has a different perspective on play than the person that gets to watch the games from the TV, and sometimes vice versa. But because there's benefits in both, but you're able to see how a player plays off the ball, what he's doing when it comes to actually getting involved in making the runs and the likes and creating channels and doing the pressing. It's one of those things where it's like sometimes people don't recognize those things because they don't. Sometimes don't even value it. They don't care about that stuff. As long as it's like if you're not scoring goals or giving assists, it's almost like
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter who you are or what you did.
If you don't score, you don't do nothing. That's what people say nowadays. Mentality is lost.
Right, and that's why, like, sometimes when you have trying to have honest discussions with people or debates or even conversations, it gets lost because you're not able to bring out that point, and they're just going to say, "Oh, well, he didn't score, or oh, he didn't do this, or didn't do that."
But can I ask him?
Cedric, by the way, definitely take care and drive safe. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, take care, Cedric. Max, can I ask quickly? Are you saying that McAllister has never been above a 5 for
this season? He's been very poor, and I love the guy.
He's never been on Coppish. He's never been. So
No,
so both.
He's been poor. He has been poor. He's been
across
hiding.
All comps. He's never been above a 5.
He's been hiding. The word is hiding.
Oh.
I'm not joking. Watch from now on. Tell me if I'm wrong. I've realized something. I'm going to say it. There's a reason for it. Last year he played with Endo. When Endo got the ball, what did Endo do with the ball?
He gave it to him.
Give it, man. Get it.
Correct.
Get ball, pass
Every time Endo got the ball, he gave it to McAllister. Gravenberch and Curtis don't do that. They pass it forward. McAllister doesn't get the ball no more. He's just chasing around, and the chasing around is brilliant. But he ain't got that Szoboszlai speed or power. McAllister is slow. That's the difference. He needs the ball to him.
No one is going to say he's the quickest player on. No one is out here ever saying. But I mean,
but
I would agree on that. He's not the world's
He's
quickest
not getting
player.
the ball.
How about this
No,
though? Can you reflect? I know your comments or what you just said, but could you reflect maybe think back to Real Madrid game? Real Madrid game, he's possibly one of the best players on the pitch. And
you're saying all comps.
Yeah.
I'm asking
all comps. Like not
Yeah.
just you're not
Guy's
just
a
saying
top
comp, you're
player,
saying
fam.
all comps. He's never been above a 5 in any game this
scored
year.
in that game. He scored he had the scored the opening goal and had I believe he had an assist in that game too.
Forget a goal. Put goals aside. And I'm going to say it. Salah scored the most goals this year. Was he good in every game? No.
Or he didn't have an assist. I just looked double.
Oh man, Salah has scored in every game. But a lot of us honestly say his performances were not great, but his goals and assists were great. The truth is the truth. McAllister scored in the Madrid game.
Yeah,
assisted man of the match in two
performance.
I think he's been man of the match in 2 of the Champions League matches too. He was in.
McAllister gets the ball from his teammates. He does well with the ball, but his teammates are not looking towards passing to him. They're Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai and Gravenberch are passing it forward to Salah or Diaz. They're always looking on because they're not the Declan Rices who pass backwards. Endo plays it safe and passes to the nearest man. So he was loving it with Endo right next to him. Endo's doing all the dog work, tackling and passing it to McAllister. McAllister was doing great things. And I know McAllister can do great things. He's got that eye pass. He can pass through the needle and all that. But the problem is Curtis Jones gets the ball, runs with it. We see him running with it. We see him sometimes running with it too much, but sometimes we know that he can pass and run with it. Szoboszlai likes to pass and run forward. Gravenberch twists and turns and goes. Problem is McAllister's he's become the weak link now. But he's not the weak link, but he's become the weak link.
I think this. I'll say this. Can I ask you this then, as a retort? I believe though that you can honestly say that maybe we're not getting the same everyday, all day performances from McAllister that we got from him last year, and what you're referring to when he was playing next to Endo. But we can say this, that our midfield works differently and possibly more efficiently and better with him in it. You can say that now, can you not?
Okay. Say you've got Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. We've always won the game. Szoboszlai's been the scapegoat when he's done all the legwork. And legwork is very important. Everyone's gone against him because his passing wasn't good, but he took the ball off people. And few of the games, Curtis Jones was replaced Szoboszlai. He was doing the attacking stuff. Okay. I've not seen him actually hounding players and getting the ball back. He's been trying, but it's not been the same as last year. But the other players have got more confidence on him.
Can you also go by what Kevin is saying in the chat too, which I agree with?
What's Kevin saying?
Last year's system was a system where we had a outright 6 and we had 2 8s. This year's system is one where we have a pivot and we have a 10. So I can understand that you're not seeing the same, I wouldn't say performances, but the same output from McAllister. But that's because we're asking for different things from him.
When you say output, what do you mean? Goals and assists?
But quickly, Kev,
I don't care about goals and assists. I don't care about.
I'm not saying output. I'm just saying output as in like what you're contributing on the pitch. That's what my output is. Contributions on the pitch.
What I want from McAllister is performances, man of the match performances, level 8, 9, 10, do something special this game. What he did last year. You'd have to score a goal to do that. Gravenberch has got. How many goals has Gravenberch scored this year? Maybe one.
One.
I don't think he
I think
scored any
maybe two.
actually.
But how many times has he been man of the match? Maybe
Yeah.
10.
Oh, loads of times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
That's
was
the
man.
difference.
But
That's the
Kev,
difference.
can I just ask you, Kev, quickly, because I think you were asking me a question about the Arsenal thing, and I think the question that you were actually asking was, right now, who's our best midfield three? I think that's actually the
Curtis Jones and
question you were
Szoboszlai.
asking. Yeah, and
Gravenberch.
you were so when I was saying so basically what you were asking is right now who's our best midfield three, and what you're meaning by asking is that right now you don't think in our best midfield three right now with everyone fit McAllister gets in that game in
No,
that three.
it doesn't.
I think
It's
that's
Curtis
what
Jones and
this is.
Szoboszlai.
Yeah, this is I think is the overarching point you were trying to make,
Yeah.
right? Because you were asking
It's
me so.
the
Yeah, to me,
speed.
Mac is in
Speed and
it.
power.
Mac is in it. Yeah. So what you're saying is right now, Liverpool's best midfield three. If we're playing Real Madrid in a Champions League final tomorrow, McAllister
Go with
isn't
speed
in
and
that
power.
midfield three.
Go with speed and power.
So you don't. So you'd be going with Jones, Dom, Grav.
Speed and power is key versus the big teams. We can rotate McAllister loads of games. We can play every game, but we can rotate. But versus the big teams, speed and power. That's where we
So
win.
wait, what I missed? I did miss. I'm sorry. I did miss. Who's? Let's just ask. Well, go ask the Pam. What is your mid three that you'd want to see for our team? And what would they be playing too? By the way, are they going to be playing a pivot system with a 10, or are you looking at them playing?
Well,
pair of
it was
eights?
kind of like the question Kev asked was if we were playing Arsenal in a semi-final, who's your three? But I think the question basically what he was really asking is right now what's our best midfield three starting in a huge game? So we're playing Madrid in the final tomorrow. What's your midfield three? My midfield three would be Grav in the 6, Mac in a double pivot, but getting forward to make a 4-2-4 kind of thing.
Mhm.
And well, right now the other one's a hard one. Depends who's in form, but right now I'd still give it to Dom. I would still be Grav, Mac, and Dom with Grav holding Mac in the 8, as it were, and Dom in the 10, as it were, but Mac pushing forward. So that would be my pick.
Mine would be Gravenberch, first pick. Second most important out of the 4 is Szoboszlai. The legwork is more important than anything. That's why Henderson was so important for Liverpool. Even though hoofball, everyone used to say hoofball, Hendo was key for Liverpool. That's what I see in Szoboszlai. The running when you haven't got the ball is key. The breaking down play is key. And the opportunity to pass to Salah, and he loves playing with Salah. Now, my third pick, you can rotate both. McAllister, Curtis Jones, depends on the play on the team.
Well,
Personally,
no,
just
hang on. You
Madrid,
started this whole thing. So you gotta
Madrid
pick.
or Arsenal,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going
yeah,
for Curtis
yeah,
Jones.
yeah.
I'm going for Curtis
You
Jones
started
every
this
time.
whole thing. You got to pick one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
pick
thinking
one.
Curtis
Pick
Jones
one.
versus the big teams.
I have been look.
Versus
I have
Madrid,
actually been
Arsenal,
asking
Man
for.
City, Curtis Jones.
I have been asking for a situation that would see Mac in the 10 and having a pivot of Dom and Grav. That's what I would like to see personally. I agree with you about the
Oh,
legs.
I'm
I
the
agree with
same.
you about the.
I want Mac in the
I,
10. I'm the same as you. I want Mac in the 10.
yeah, I
100%.
agree with you about the legs. I think that I think where we're in maybe a disagreement on is that I think that Maka does have the ability to play the 10 in that he has offensive skill sets that could be positive for us. He could be very creative with his passing. He is obviously defensively astute that he's able to connect with 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 our players. But I also think that Dom and Grab are two of our fastest players, two of our, obviously youngest players too, but two of our fastest and most fit players on our team that are able to do all of that legwork. Not saying that Maka can't do that, but let's just be honest, Maka is the fastest on the pitch.
Speed.
So so the recovery ability is if Dom does go forward or if Grab does go forward, they have the ability to be able to recover. Sometimes I question that in Maka, but I still think that Macca has possibly out of all three, and this is what my own opinion. I think Macca has the best football IQ out of all
Correct.
three. So therefore, he's able to
100%.
utilize the pitch in different ways and not have to rely so much on his athletic skills, the skill sets to back
But
him up.
first,
And
man,
his
remember
first
I
time-
said
his first time passing.
he has
Mac
to
McAllister's
get
first
the
time
ball
passing
first.
is elite.
But
Wait,
these
hold
lot
on.
are not passing to him. They're passing to Salah and Diaz.
Do you see
That's
that
the
though,
issue
Les?
I have.
Yeah, no, that's the thing you
Go
were
ahead.
bringing up, actually. Sorry, 12 man, you
Yeah,
might
yeah,
have
I
been
heard
here.
what you were saying.
Turning and passing to Salah and Diaz. They don't pass to McAllister who's behind them.
That's the thing, yeah. Max was saying that
Liverpool is
earlier
a
on. I
thinking
don't know.
forward team. They pass forward, not backwards. The defenders pass to each other, but once it comes to Szoboszlai or Curtis Jones, they twist and they move forward. The ball doesn't go back. McAllister is always behind Curtis Jones or Szoboszlai on the pitch. Even
McAllister
though
gets a
they're both
lot
playing
of
on the 8,
ball,
they are
Max.
10
Come on.
yards ahead of him. So they're
Yeah,
not
but
passing to
McAllister
him.
gets a lot of the ball, man. Come on, you can't. I know what the point you're making is that when the deep
I
lying
believe-
players get on the ball,
Mm.
they look past Mac in the 8. They try and get it forward to the 10. Or
Yes.
try and get it forward to the wingers. But I think that's not Maxwell because he's in the 8. Like McAllister gets a lot of the ball, man. He creates. I mean, the shots he has, you know, I love him arriving late in the box, that kind of Lampard style.
You know what, Drew, Brian? A quick point, and I'll let you go back to what you're saying. I was going to say that what I do see from Mac is that the one thing that I was always wanting to see more of, obviously we didn't get to see because of the unfortunate set of circumstances that he was injured more so than not, is that kind of ability to get it into a player that has the ability to pass, dribble, do whatever. He's such a dynamic player. I think Macca does have a lot of that skill set that is very similar to Thiago. I'm not saying he's a Thiago, but I'm saying that that's what I would love to see, is that to be able to put it into put it to the feet of a player that is similar in the sense of you're not afraid that he's going to lose control, lose the ball. You know, he's going to be able to figure out whether dribble, pass, whatever it is.
Yeah, and he can take a tackle. He can take a hard hit.
Right. He's not going to get bullied off the ball.
Okay.
Good.
The word take a tackle. The word take a tackle comes to our whole team. Liverpool has known to have every player cemented in their heart to take a tackle. If you don't take a tackle, you don't play for Liverpool.
But some people can get up easier than others, man. Come on,
yeah, but
it's just
there are certain players like
physiologically we're all built differently.
Arsenal like to sit on the floor and moan and cry and act and all that. That's not the Liverpool way. So I'm not going to accept that one. Take a tackle. Every player at Liverpool takes a tackle, and we get up and carry on.
No, I'm not talking about hard. Max, I'm just talking about someone who can.
So make your point, and then I'm gonna interrupt real quick because we do have
draws beginning.
We do have the draw being done right now. There'll probably some people that are going to get angry because it is Redknapp and Jamie that are picking. That better not be our fault.
Arsenal.
Arsenal is going up against Newcastle.
There we go. There we go. No, that's going to work out. We get Tottenham in the semis, then we get Newcastle in the final. Nice. It's all coming up now.
Because we're going to Spurs, by the way, too.
Exactly. No, it's
I'm
a
a tough man here. It's a harder game for Tottenham than Arsenal.
It's not more about the fixture. It's more about the fact that I would have preferred for us to have a home game. That's all.
No, but it's 2 legs, right?
Two legs.
But that's the first leg is.
It's cool. Well, hey, look, you can't win them all. It's Tottenham. It's fine. I'll take that.
They'll have Van der Ven and Romero back by then.
I just didn't want Arsenal, so we've avoided Arsenal. So I'll take.
So the legs are going to be also. First leg is on January 6th, and the second leg is going to be February 3rd. By the way.
Wow.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll do them over 2 legs. We take them. That's the best thing to do is play them at Tottenham, let them do their thing,
get a draw,
and then bring it back to Anfield and then just finish the job.
Arsenal is at home, by the way, too. So Arsenal's game against Newcastle is at the Emirates.
Okay.
And the game against our game is obviously against Spurs at Spurs. January 6th, at least.
Yeah, the first
Okay.
one. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. We take them home and away. That's how it's going to work. I would rather play second game home every single time.
As well.
Every
Correct.
single time.
Correct.
Same as.
Correct.
That's
You
the old
go
school
there.
way to do it. Yeah.
It's our bottom.
They do. What the fuck are you eating now? Jesus, Coco.
uh, at the end of the day,
Yes.
Tottenham probably.
There are two former Liverpool players basically picking the.
Yeah, Redknapp and Carragher.
Yeah, so basically there's going to be someone out there probably saying, the fix is in. The fix is in.
If it was Arsenal, I'd say yeah. Tottenham, it's okay.
Yeah. I would have liked to seen it go the way of it is. But again, it's Arsenal versus Newcastle, Spurs versus the Reds.
Could Newcastle do a job on Arsenal? I don't think so, but St. James's, maybe.
I
but
think they could.
They could.
They could get a result. I mean, obviously, there's no.
I think they drew in the league
So
already.
the only good thing about having the
Let's see how
home
good
game,
Isak is.
the only good thing
Let's
about
see how
having
good
the
Isak
home.
is.
Oh, good. I was just say real quick. The only thing about having the home game second, actually, now that I think about it, is the fact that hypothetically, if it's a 1-1 draw in the first game, let's say, or maybe it's 2-1 or whatever, right? And then no matter what, if you end up drawing in the, like, let's say it's a 1-1 draw in the first game, and then the second game you have another 1-1 draw, you will go to penalties at your ground. So that's actually positive.
Yeah, that's good as well.
Does it go to extra time?
There's extra time, and then you go to penalties. I think,
Oh,
or maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't
we
think
have to
so.
double check.
Ooh.
Maybe not. We have to double check on that one. I don't want to say that there is definitely, because I know that it went straight to penalties in the knockout stages earlier. I don't know if it goes to extra time, but all the same, if there is going to be extra time drawn, then it's going to be, at least we know that it's going to be it would be at Anfield, at least, that they would have to do it if there's extra time. But I'm not certain. I'd have to double check on that. What do you guys feel about the draw? You guys good with it?
Yeah, it's cool. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I just didn't want Arsenal, so as long as I don't have to deal with them, at least until, although I feel they might do Newcastle,
Okay. Are you good with it, Max?
I am very nervous because I've been watching Spurs every game this year. They are the most scariest team when they're good. When they're good, when they've got the whole team there. Remember, they didn't have Romero or Van der Ven today. When they got the whole team there, they are very good.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't beat Man City 4-0 because they're crap. They beat the mighty Man United. They lost 1-0 versus Arsenal in their own pitch by a corner when they were hammering them, peppering their goal. They couldn't score. They are very scary.
Okay.
I'm not joking. I would have preferred Arsenal because Arsenal only scores corners now. They don't take shots. The XG this year of Arsenal is below 1.
Oh, we did it earlier on, man. It's just above, but we did it earlier on. Yeah.
You saw it. You saw it the last 2 years, and now Arsenal XG is so bad.
There's no extra time. There's no extra
Go
time.
and look at Spurs' XG. It's higher than ours.
Yeah, there is no extra time.
For the second leg of the semifinal and the final, an extra half hour will be played before going to penalties, should the score remain level.
In the second leg. So in the first leg, it's just a draw. Well, obviously, it just goes straight to it at 90 minutes. See, that's the
So
advantage.
so
R
that
slash
now
is-
so that's actually better that we have a home. Yeah, so it's actually better that we have
Oh,
a
it's
home.
always better to be home, second man. Always. Totally, man. Don't worry. It's always better to have that second leg at home. You can go, they can think about it and ruminate on it. You sit there, you got the cop, you got everything. And that is a bit of a quirk in it. It's like they'll point to it and go, well, this has been brought up in the past. Is it fair if you played over 2 legs, but if it goes to a draw, the team that's in the second leg actually gets an extra half an hour at their home
Right.
ground? That's one of the quirks in it. You can't get away from
It's
that.
interesting. Last
That's-
year,
So
yeah,
yeah,
last year,
it's the way it is. I don't mind that. It doesn't bother me. I wouldn't mind if it was the other way around. I wouldn't
last
mind. I
year,
wouldn't be-
because Middlesbrough was a part of the quarterfinals, or the semifinals, excuse me. VAR wasn't used actually in the semifinals last year. It was only used in the final, but because of the situation this year, VAR will be brought back into it because there's 4 teams that have the 4 teams that have the ability to use VAR. So that's what they're gonna do.
No reason not to. May as well. No reason not to. I'd love if they just did the whole competition VAR free. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Just do the
Yeah.
whole competition with no
Yeah,
VAR.
yeah.
I'd love that.
that would have been
That'd
good.
be, yeah, that would be a thing that people would like.
Yep.
The people, they won't do it, but the people would like that. Because if you ask anybody that's just been relegated in the last 2-3 years, and I don't want to keep bringing up Ant, but Leicester have been relegated more than once. It's Leicester. But if you ask them what's the best thing about playing the championship, they say no VAR.
Simple as.
Every single time they say no VAR. It's the best thing about playing the championship.
Exactly,
So,
but I watched
yeah.
a few championship games. So enjoyable compared to the Premier League in that way. VAR ruined football. 100%.
No,
It has.
no.
It has, man.
VAR is perfect.
Bro, listen.
Okay.
When you got
The
VAR,
technology
you're waiting 2
is
days.
perfect.
Yeah, let's not.
When
Let's
you're
not
waiting
go.
2 days
Let's
for
not
a
get into a
decision,
VAR.
And the
Let's not
when
get into
you're
a VAR
waiting 2
debate.
days
referees
to
that
get
are
a
the problem.
decision, yeah. When you get 2 days to wait for a decision, yeah, players are freezing, pull hamstrings, it carries on. It's ruined football. Come on, man. You can go shopping to Aldi or Lidl, Sainsbury's or whatever. Come back and still ain't fucking made the decision, bro. It's a joke.
Yeah, but it's not VAR. The technology is superb. It's not them. It's the people in the room and the referee that's the problem. The
Wow.
technology is there. The lines.
We can have a.
Mm.
Yeah, let's have a debate on.
Nah,
on
but for
that.
me, he's just ruined it, man.
Another
He's just
day.
ruined
Let's
it.
not. Let's not.
When we're
Like,
watching
when
the World
Darwin
Cup,
scored.
when we're watching the Champions League, it's beautiful.
Like yesterday, for example, watching
It's the
Darwin
Premier League.
score and not waiting for anything. We didn't have to wait for nothing. The linesman can put his flag up, bang, it's a goal. Let's carry on. That's what football is all about. That first 3 seconds when the ball goes over the line, nothing else. It's all about that. And they've taken that away from us.
When it's in the Champions
Exactly.
League and you got the European refs and the European people in the VAR room, why does everything go perfectly right?
That's true. Because they did that
It's the Premier
in
League.
the Euros. In the Euros, they had a South American
It
referee
doesn't
for one
go
of the
perfectly
games.
right there either, but I got you.
He did it well. Like in the
They've
Euros,
got their
that
own
just went
issues
on
Problem
too.
to-
is the
We've seen some
corruption. I'm
dodgy
going to
calls.
say it. It's corruption in the Premier League. I'm going to say it.
Okay.
There's money
that's-
being
okay.
spent on the referees and it's corruption. You saw Coots. You know this corruption. You can't lie about it. It's not one, it's all of them.
Toots.
It's corrupted big time. The VAR is not a problem. It's the refs are against Liverpool. Corruption. The word is corruption. The Premier League has fallen big time.
via VAR.
Well,
Not by VAR, by the corruption.
Now, VAR just
Okay.
We are not allowed to say
showing
it.
us
Okay.
how it is.
The English Premier League doesn't have corruption. Hello, it does. It's rigged.
Quick question, Max. And this isn't supposed to be a dickhead question, but it is a dickhead question. I'll just warn you that. This is a dickhead question. Was it rigged the year we won it?
No, it was, I don't mean rigged like that way. I'm talking about the last few years. A lot of Premiership referees have been going to Saudis. They're being paid. They're being paid. There's a lot of money being spent on referees. And as soon as they come back, something dodgy is going on. And every fan can see it. Some things are blatant. Some things, when you can see they're miles offside and they don't even draw a line some games. And for some things, they draw the line. Are you telling me the Tottenham game, that wasn't corruption? That was because the whole world saw that was offside, and the two VAR men knew that was offside.
I don't know if that was. I don't know if that was corruption. I think that was more. I wouldn't say corruption. I would say that's just more. What's the word I'm even
low
looking
IQ?
for?
What is it?
Just
cheating.
No, that's just. What'd you say?
Cheating.
Incompetence is incompetence is the word.
Oh,
I'm
no,
looking for.
no. Trust man,
That was something on the lines of like
they're not 5 years old.
Like,
they're full on grown adults.
Yeah, that was for me dodgy as well, bro. Like for me, they
Come
could
on.
not make. You cannot make a mistake.
The
that
world
big.
can see it.
Like, come on, you know.
That's not incompetence. That's blatant cheating.
That was blatant cheating in my eyes.
That was blatant cheating.
Yeah.
You can't let off people for that. That was 100% the world saw it.
Even in the
every
last
commentator
weeks.
said it. Every commentator said it. Every pundit said it. Every newspaper said it. Everyone knew something was wrong, but they didn't want to blame it on the ref. But everyone knew it.
But that's saying that the ref had it. I don't know if the ref.
He was paid. Okay. He was paid.
Well,
that's alleged. That's alleged on your likes. That's not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But
I'm gonna say it because I don't care about my popularity. I don't care about my popularity. So I don't care who sees it. Premier League is cheating.
No,
and because they want the money.
No, Max, I'll quickly say it's called Occam's razor. If you look up a phrase, it's called Occam's razor, right?
What does that mean?
It basically says that in this world, in this life, if something can be as easily explained away by stupidity and incompetence as it can be by corruption, it's 99% of the time it's going to be stupidity and incompetence. It's the idea that it fits perfectly in that Spurs game. Is that we see, well, some people might see a referee who's been, hypothetically been paid to throw a game. It's more often than not when people get shit wrong in life, it's because they're idiots. It's not because they've been paid because there's a big grand conspiracy. Every club in the country will tell you that every week decisions they go against them. Like,
yeah,
can you name me? Wrong. Yeah, but can you name me a club, Max, that ever said, "Oh yeah, we get all the calls, we do"?
No.
Yeah.
Everyone gets things wrong.
Will tell you,
every club. It has it through every club.
Yeah, but it can't happen to every club because then, therefore, every club will tell you all the calls.
That's why I'm saying the VAR technology.
Not all
clubs
can have all calls that go against them. It's just the way you see the game.
That's what I'm saying. VAR technology is perfect. Yeah. It's the refs and the.
But Max, there is no technology. VAR is no. VAR is basically people looking at a television. It's sold as technology. Yeah, you can draw lines and shit, but at the end of the day, it's three boys sitting in a room looking at a television, going, "Yeah, I'm still." The decision is
this wouldn't have even happened though if there was
silly human thing.
If there was the case that we had the semi-automated system that they had in FIFA or for the World Cup, then you wouldn't have had that circumstance happen. You would have had, obviously the computer would have said, "Oh, the person's offsides," plain and simple. It shows he's offsides. There's no waiting for the lines to be drawn, waiting for that to be drawn, and the likes. But still, it was a miscommunication.
They voted that down. The Premier League
voted that down because of
Wolves were the only guys. Wolves were the only ones who said, we don't like it." And where was Liverpool? What were we doing? We've just got done big time.
But that's the thing about it, is that we would, we at Liverpool would have probably voted certainly for it in the chances that Brian's earlier point for me was relevant in that he asked, was VAR corrupt, as you're putting it, or allegedly corrupt, however we have to say it for the lawyers at least, okay, in the year that we won it, in the year that we won the Prem. And why I'm saying that is that even before that wasn't even corrupt, because one of the biggest reasons why we play a high line, and one of the biggest reasons why we're so efficient with what we get away with sometimes by playing a high line, is because of VAR. If we had to rely on referees, linesmen making calls, something I pointed out last not in this very last match, but the match before this on the weekend, about how poor in that Fulham match even the linesmen were in that game. The linesmen were horrible in that game. They got the call wrong on Lucho being offsides when he wasn't offsides. You can blatant. It's not even that hard to see that he wasn't offsides, but because the linesman got it wrong, we missed out on a free kick from right outside the box. He gets it didn't amount to a goal, but he calls. We didn't even get the opportunity to try to score the goal, score off a corner, because he calls the corner kick that Trent made said it went out of bounds. It went out of bounds when he wasn't even on the line to know if it went out of bounds.
Yeah, true.
He was on the wrong side of Trent to even make that call, but he still made it. It's like the parts and points of saying that, like, humans are just that. They'll make mistakes, and I get that, and that's just what we are.
Humans make mistakes.
We did have that. One of the reasons why I don't think that I think VAR is power, or at least like beneficial for us as Liverpool fans, is because the way that we play with this high line and the things that we do, if we didn't have that, VAR was like a fifth defender for us, if you want to put it that way. It was the extra defender for us always, because we knew that we could play that line.
Correct.
And even if we were to get caught, chances are they would be offsides, period. And that's how that's why we played those.
That bit I agree. VAR is like the fifth defender, but forget the offside one. Forget that. Remember when Robertson done the foul and it was given a penalty when it was outside the box?
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless I've been watching football all my life and I know what is outside the box and what is inside the box, and when you freeze frame it, and when you see it on replay a million times, the world saw it, it was outside the box, even the VR room saw it outside, they still give it a penalty. That's corruption.
I don't think they were going to give a penalty. They weren't going to give a penalty for that play.
They gave a penalty.
No, they didn't give a penalty for it.
Yeah, they got a penalty for it. They scored.
For Ramos?
Not the Fulham game. No,
I thought you were talking about Fulham. Okay.
Which one was it? When he done the foul outside the box and then he fell over and they kept replaying it. And they said afterwards it's because he would have tackled him in the box also. But he tackled him outside the box.
Right.
Now, if that's not corruption, what is it? Because throughout history of football, we've seen people tackle outside the box and they gave it a free kick. But that game, they freeze-framed it, replayed it, and we also was outside the box, but they gave it a penalty. That was
which game are you talking about, too, by the way? So you're not talking about the Fulham game. Which game are you talking about? Just so I can...
I'm trying to think what game it is as well. What game did we play before Fulham? The mistake Robertson made before Fulham, before Girona.
Before Girona.
Wasn't it Newcastle?
Yeah, I think it was Newcastle. Yeah, I think it was Newcastle. I'm not positive, but I'll double check. I'll double check for you. Give me 1 second. We're gonna end in the next couple minutes here anyway, so I can get this to actually work.
My point is, it doesn't matter what game it was. It happened.
Right. Okay.
Down the tackle outside the box. Forget what play it was against.
Newcastle was before Girona, because I was getting, because we were supposed to play Everton, because Everton was before Girona technically, but that got postponed.
We didn't play Everton, but it doesn't matter what team it was. But That outside the box tackle, that was the one when everyone was fed up. Well, everyone was fed up of Robertson all season, but that one really got to everyone. Why did he make that tackle? There was nothing wrong with that tackle. It was outside the box. It's a free kick. Now, if I was a defender and I played football all throughout my life, I played in all positions. If I'm that person and he's going to run on goal, I'll make that tackle as well. Take one yellow card for the team and make that tackle as well, because I know it's not inside the box. But if it's inside the box, I won't make that tackle. I'll stand back. So I was thinking the same as Robertson. He'll go for the tackle, take one for the team, but they gave it a penalty instead. That's where it cost us.
I'm trying to remember the exact play you're talking about, because it wasn't a penalty though. They didn't score off a penalty though. That's the thing in that game. They didn't have a penalty.
Let me find out what game it was.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like they didn't have a penalty in that game. There was no penalty shot in that game. And that's the only game that it would have possibly that a mistake like that would have hurt us. So I don't know. Do you guys remember which game he's trying to reference? Because I don't remember that game.
Nope.
It was Southampton. That's what Kevin's saying. Southampton, maybe. Yeah, Southampton, maybe.
Who gave the Mbappe penalty away? Champions League.
Oh, maybe that could be.
I think that could be it. Was it that?
That could be it, maybe.
That would make sense in terms of positions on the.
Yeah, because I mean,
no.
I can't remember.
We won that
I
game.
remember the incident. I remember.
Kevin's saying that it's Southampton. If you can clear up what we're missing out on, that'd be good. Because I don't remember.
That's the $1 million.
Oh, it is Southampton. It is Southampton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah, it is Southampton. Yeah.
Because you know why? Because Southampton, the goalkeeper made a save, and then he ended up kicking, and then he ended up scoring off of the.
Kelleher made the save, and then he scored it also
off the rebound. Yeah. That game we won 2-3 though. We didn't lose.
Yeah,
that
but
game.
it was touch and go.
Yeah.
The ref nearly done us that game. It shouldn't have been a penalty.
Yeah.
Because you are taught as a player to get the ball off a player as best as you can. Take one for the team sometimes, but never do it inside the box. Make the tackle. If you're a defender, you are taught to pull the player back if you have to. If you know they're going to score, pull them back, but do it outside the box. The dark arts. Arsenal are great at doing the dark arts.
Right.
They get away with it. But Robertson done the dark arts outside the box. Yellow card. But no. Straight pen. Freeze frame it. Watch your replays. Straight pen. That means football is not right.
Well,
corruption.
We'll have to
watch it back. Watch it back.
We'll have to.
I watched it so many times.
On the dark arts.
Perfect football.
Perfect football. Possible corruption in the game and the likes. We can have that conversation possibly another time, but we are out of time right now because we're at 3 hours and 33 minutes. 3:33. So we're going to be.
Can I say one more thing?
Stream down. Okay, real quick.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
It's like watching Tyson versus that fight we saw. Tyson versus what's his name?
Yeah, Jake Paul, something like that.
Yeah,
corruption, 100%.
Oh goodness. Okay, all right. So
come on, You know it. Say it.
Oh my goodness.
You know it.
All right. So we're going to leave it there. Big up, Max. Thank you for joining us. Definitely today.
Thank you all.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I know, Kevin. I'm not. I think you're right, Kevin. But I'm not going to get involved into that. I think I do remember that call now even more so. They kept trying to show the box. They kept trying to show the line, and they were showing Robinson's foot. Robbo's foot actually outstay. It was a question of whether it was outside of or touching the line or not touching the line. Blah blah blah. We'll get into that another time. I just want to primarily just say big up to everyone for joining us today. We had a pretty long Thursday session here, but that's because we got to watch a wild game for Spurs. That game was absolute entertainment, to say the least. Spurs on the verge of doing Spursy things, as they like to call it, or they don't like to call it at least. But also, we got to talk about some of the game that we just saw us take us into the semifinal, which was that game of the quarterfinal matchup against Southampton. We also got to see and talk about at least some different things that are in team talk. But we're going to do this all again tomorrow on the TGIF, Finally Friday episode. So hopefully you'll join us tomorrow. Big up, Max, once again. Thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you. You've all been absolutely a pleasure.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it's all positive. We can have different opinions, but it's about like just getting to a part and point in a place that we can actually have a discussion. I think that having a common level-headed discourse is always the key to coming out with some real answers and real enlightenment. And also, big up, JK. Thank you for joining us today. You want to say something to the people before we go?
Yeah, you're welcome, bro. Great show. Good to have Max on as well. Everyone can have opinions as long as I'm right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice way to end.
YouTube. JK is finally understanding YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Brian, you want to say anything to the people before we bounce?
No, thanks for being here. See you tomorrow. You're here for ages, so go
Yeah.
and do other things. Go and do other things. Live your life.
Yeah. Live your life. Live your life to the fullest. That's what we always suggest.
Walk with Jesus.
Yeah. And
sorry. Can I actually say something? Yeah, I'm an idiot. Sorry. I did. Typical fucking me. I actually had something to say. Don't worry, not like a boring thing. I haven't been streaming in a while on the Irishman channel because StreamYard. But I will be back tomorrow. I'll do something tomorrow, so back tomorrow, and I will be back streaming every day, hopefully, or every other day. But yeah, anybody out there, I'm going to be back online tomorrow, live show. Think of something to do. So yeah, the Irishman channel will be back tomorrow.
Well, you got some stuff to do. You can talk about you can talk about the Jake Paul Tyson.
I must rewatch that. I'm sure you can watch it for free now. Apparently, it's quite dull, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you would want to watch it, even if you got paid to watch that fight.
Don't waste your time.
A waste of time.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead, continue. So people where they can find you for that.
Oh yeah, Irishman football. Yeah. JK legend put the link in the chat. There you go. So we'll be back online tomorrow, guys. Back streaming again.
Yeah. Same bat channel, same bat place, same Reds channel, same Reds place. We can say it like that. And again,
go again tomorrow. So tomorrow night, see you again here tomorrow night, same on this channel. So
yeah. If you stuck with us this entire over 3 hours and 30 some odd minutes, you guys are all legends for doing so. We really do appreciate it. If you can out there, definitely hit the like button if you feel like it. Also, leave a comment if you want, or say something if you like to me that you want to get through to, maybe like a show suggestion or a point that you want to bring up or something like that. Always open to suggestions. And more than not, I, as always, like to say, up the Reds, people. Up the Reds. That's what it comes down to. So we'll see you tomorrow. You'll never walk alone for sure. And hopefully you will be here with us tomorrow for Finally Friday. All right. Take care, guys.